starting right now. All right. What? Nice, dude. Nice, congratulations, dude. In case you missed all of that, Internet, things have been rocky around the Princess of the Apocalypse table, as it were. But things are on the uptick, and that's great. And guess what? No one's sick and or dying or obligated otherwise, so we're here to play for the first time in over a month. So welcome, folks, old and new, to Princess of the Apocalypse number 14. We've had 13 out on the internet for a long time. But here we are now playing for episode 14. So first of all, I'm going to give you guys a recap as it's been a month. So there's a lot to dive into there. And then we'll pick up, where we left off. So first of all, last time our party made their way to the city of Waterdeep, deciding to, go visit some friends and family, do some shopping, and try to figure out what else they could find out about this whole cult scenario. We knew that there's elemental cults out and about, so what can we learn about those? So the party decided... Nope, let's not do that. The party decided that, let's start there. It's a good starting point, Waterdeep, the hub of most things nearby, so we did that. And the party went and got drunk a lot, and spent like $5,000 on booze. And then there was a nerd date between Ozzy and Natasha, his crush at the Blackstaff Tower. And that's pretty much, we picked up at the aftermath of that date, which... The night before was interesting. Some folks were more hungover than others. There was heart-to-heart talks with surrogate fathers. And then there was a traversal back into the city of Waterdeep. And the party decided, hey, let's go check out let's try to find some information on a Thieves Guild, right? If there's all these people out there causing all of this shit, the Thieves Guild probably knows. Maybe they're even in league with one another. So let's go try to figure that out. And they found out that there was a Thieves Guild through Lilith's contacts and or previous information gathering, that there was a Thieves Guild called the Triad. And first of all, that jumped out to a bunch of folks because the Triad is a name of 3 very powerful, very lawful, good, and holy deities, so blasphemous in and of its own right. And then they made their way to Graveyard District to search through various tombs, where they found one with some Thieves' Cant hobo sign action from Igni. They found this might be a fake tomb, and decided to descend below it, where they found themselves crawling through like a 2-foot diameter chute that was on a slope that was firing like flechette darts out of the wall at them, and they managed to stop them on their way down, to exit out into a larger room, and then they found themselves in a room sort of with a fountain with a statue of Ilmater, the god of suffering, the god of endurance, typically depicted in the most minimal amount of clothes, covered up with scars, bleeding from the wrists and so on, to signify his suffering for everyone else. And he takes the blame and the suffering so that the folks of the material plane don't have to. But it was weird to see him in a cloak. That's not nice. And with a dagger at his belt, no less. So the party approached Vanan, specifically being the one to go get closer and inspect this. And as the party approached, the cloak flew off, or disrobed, if you will, this statue, and drew forth this dagger. And that's where we ended a month ago. So... so I guess what we'll do is we'll pick up with rolling for initiative right out the gate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Unless you guys have other things you want to throw out there, want to take a little break to discuss the Marvel Cinematic Universe before we start playing.
I guess
passively speaking, like when he disrobes, what do we see? Does it look
Okay.
like or is it human?
Do we see a statue? No.
So the statue seems to be a statue in and of itself. As the cloak sort of disrobes, it doesn't have it floats, right? It hovers. It doesn't, and you see that the cloak,
Strange's cloak.
kind of, although it's not like a cloak. It's more like a robe, right? It's got sleeves.
It's got sleeves.
You saw I sent you guys the picture. So basically, if you can imagine a long flowing, almost like an elegant bathrobe, if you will.
Like coattails?
Yeah, well, not coattails, but it is solid. But it has it's a long train to it.
Okay.
But basically, what you do see is there is a very loose shadow type figure contained within this cloak, right? Because it doesn't have hands, right? Like, it's a cloak. So it's holding this dagger, this seemingly intricate dagger, with its hand. And there is no hand, right? Because it's just it's like a sleeve that comes up to the end. And then there's sort of like a smoky, shadow-esque hand that you can... Again, it's not solid, it's kind of shifting and moving. And there is a general, seemingly humanoid-ish body there. There's not really... It's got a hood, right? So there's no real face. And there's definitely no legs. It is hovering. But there's enough that you can see that you get the feeling it will be able to strike out with this weapon. So, with that being said, let me get initiatives. So.
Oh, initiative.
Yes.
I rolled a
Right.
15.
I gotta do that.
Sorry, what was that, Brittany?
15.
15.
20.
Okay, man, we got 20.
12 for Igni.
We got 12.
18.
Man, you guys are on fire tonight. Alright, let's see.
Bucky, I love your backdrop. I'm just
Oh, thank you.
in love with that. That is awesome. I will have a backdrop soon.
Okay, and this guy...
I want to keep buying more and switching them out, just randomly.
Alright, so this guy actually he's gonna get the drop on initiative order, and I probably should have had the conversation of whether or not this was a surprise round. But I didn't, so it's not a surprise round, but he did still roll high enough initiative-wise. I'm missing pens nearby. Oh, here we go. So, alright. So you watch as this thing, it's kind of Vanan is closest to it. The room, there's nothing too remarkable about the room. There is a door that leads out. There's kind of the statue, which seems to be the prominent central figure in this room. And then there's sort of the open passageway that you came into this room. We'll say the room is circular. It's a roughly 20-foot radius, so a 40-foot diameter circular room, with this being the mainstay there. So you watch, Vanan, as I believe you had moved up by yourself. Again, it's been a month. I probably should have rewatched the end of the last episode.
Yeah, there was a room. There was a room with traps, and I jumped over them or something, like mushrooms. I feel like I'm remembering.
Yes, you are correct. There were
so-
violet-colored mushrooms in the room you were in before, and everybody chose to avoid those through one mean or another, and you did not activate them.
No, I was slightly ahead of the party, and if I remember right, Vanan got a little impatient and just kind of walked through a door and then walked into a statue as the rest of the party was coming in.
So the rest of
we came in the room. We entered the room and we were like, "Oh, look, a statue!" And we're like, "Don't touch that, Vanan!" And
okay.
It was already there.
That okay, that works then. So, Vanan, what is your armor class?
My armor class? Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's pretty damn high. 19.
Okay, so you are still hit anyway. But can I get you to make me a strength saving throw, please?
Gosh. Wow, that's a natural 1.
Ooh, okay. So, Vanan, because basically the way I'm going to describe this is, you're there walking up to this statue, you see the thing, the party kind of sees this cloak come out and move towards you, but the way things are set up is you are sort of interposed between it and the party, so they can't exactly see what it's doing to you, whether it's striking out or otherwise. just because your body is sort of blocking it. But what you watch and see, Vanan, is this thing takes the dagger and moves it up, like, towards where you would assume its mouth to be, and then, like, the hand releases and the dagger stays there, like being held in someone's mouth, like pirate think. And you can see, actually, at this point, make me a perception check. First of all, let's start there.
Wow, that's really high. That's 25.
Okay, so 1, you notice that there is some sort of slick liquid along the blade of this dagger.
Dope.
So there's something there. You don't know what. But you watch, and it's hard to see initially, but your perception is just so high that the kind of incorporeal, shifting, moving digits, hands, whatever they are, of this creature make a movement. And the hand sort of goes like this. Okay? You know, the hands come together sort of like this. And you watch as the shadow stuff that makes up this creature kind of travels the shadow along the floor into your shadow. And I just shadow jutsu. Yeah, yes.
Shadow prison jutsu?
I totally did.
Oh,
And you, with your trying to fight it off with your strength to control your own muscles, you fail and you go completely rigid. And you are starting to, like, this is weird, you don't have control over your own body at this point in time. You can try to break this at the end of your turn. And then you feel it start to compel you. And then it actually goes to your turn. So on your turn, you feel your body, and it is, like, tense as you turn, and you turn to face your party, and you see them all, like, coming in the room as you're like, oh, what? But you have no facial expression. And it commands you... let me ask you guys, who's the first one to walk in the room? Out of the three of you.
Iggy will be the first one to walk in the room.
sure as hell wasn't me.
I'm so sorry.
Iggy will be next.
Alright, so it commands you to move forward to within striking distance of Igni, and you must use your... make a melee attack action against Igni.
Sorry.
But you can't say that because you can't speak.
You're right.
He's got control of your mouth is clenched, your jaw, a perfect line.
I feel like I should get advantage because we dance together constantly. I would know his next move.
Yeah, but he's not in control.
That's true. Alright.
I like where you're at. Your head's out.
That's actually pretty bad.
Okay.
It's still 15 though, which might hit.
It does not, in fact.
Okay.
But I would also like to say, since somebody else is like, is it like possession?
Sort of.
They're like, yeah. Okay, well, I guess I'll wait till my turn. Igni's gonna try to see if she would recognize the fact that that's not a move Vanan would make.
Okay. And Vanan, but you do have another attack, so...
Oh, I attack.
It's your whole action to make an attack, so yeah, you do both.
Well,
That
damn.
is higher. That's a 17.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Alright,
Okay.
so it's, I guess, yeah, so go ahead and make an attack. It's a D... It's, what is it? Your short swords, right? So
It's a
D6.
short sword, so it's just a D6. Which is not... But the rough thing is even though it's just a D6 and I rolled a 5, I get plus 7 to the damage. So 12 damage.
So 12 total damage?
Yeah.
Dang.
Pass.
Okay.
That's it, I guess. Do I do anything else?
No, that ends your turn.
So I don't have to use... Okay.
No.
But I can save against it
You
now?
can make a strength saving throw, yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's a 22.
Oh, yeah, totally fine. So you feel you kind of expel this shadow from you. Let's see here.
Igni, I am so sorry. That was not me, I promise.
What the fuck,
I
Vanan?
promise. It wasn't me. It
You
was
cut my dress.
The cloak thing over there behind me is real rude.
Can I see this
It made me
cloak?
doing rude stuff.
Yeah, you guys can see this cloak is floating. And Igni, because you're the first one in the room, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Okay. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. At a 14.
Okay, you actually watch a strand of shadow as Vanan apologizes disappear from Vanan's shadow and like back to the shadow creature and like off the floor and like into the swirling mass inside this cloak.
A sneaky shadow, I say, very loud. Oh, looky!
The shadow is very sneaky.
Light. We need light. And how well lit is the room?
There's like sconces on the wall. It's not like too brightly lit, but there is light enough where you guys can see. I mean, most of you have dark vision, but
yeah, but there's a lot of shadows being cast. I'm guessing in this space.
There is a lot of shadows being cast. Yes.
Okay, I turn around and I look at Magic Man. I go, we need lots and lots of light. Shadows cannot exist in light.
Okay.
Right?
Anyone know the daylight spell? I'm joking. Not metagaming. Joking. Pretty sure none of us have it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's high enough level to have that, or
Nope.
of the right type of casting to do that.
No.
Nope.
Oh, I can make light, Ignis says.
You can.
And it's not. I'm sure it's not a whole lot.
Dancing lights.
So yeah, actually, after Vanan's turn, it is Ozzy's turn.
Oh, it is.
Well, I can either do light or I can blow something up.
You can do whatever you want to do.
Dancing lights is a cantrip. Bonus action, I mean. Bonus action cantrip.
No, dancing lights is an action.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I'm talking about.
All right, so you see this empty cloak. Its hands the sleeves of kind of up in this kind of motion with a dagger seemingly being held in a mouth.
Oh, that does not look very good. And then I'm just gonna put my hand forward and I'm gonna cast a level 3 magic missile as fire damage.
Oh shit! Okay, go ahead and roll your damage then.
Okay, so that's 5d. How many d4s is
Level
that?
3, 5d4 plus 5.
4 plus 5.
Very nice.
1, 2, 3. Let's roll. I have 4 d4s.
I thought I'd throw in a little something for the Naruto fans out there. Shout out Prison Jutsu, always fun. This creature is not this cool, but
10, 13, 18 fire damage.
oh, okay, wow. So you watch as these little bolts of missile-like fire energy hit into this thing, and you can see that even though it seems to mostly be a cloak with a shadowy figure, they do make purchase and hit into this thing. And you watch though as this hits in, that parts of the cloak begin to catch fire. And Ozzy, you come to the realization with that it seems to be exceptionally susceptible to fire damage.
I laugh and I go, perfect.
And then is that it for you?
That's it for. Oh, also, I still have Little Miss Cleopatra
Yes, you do.
next to me,
You do.
so she can do some stuff,
She can.
which I need my monster manual. Where are you? Which one are you? This one. That's probably not gonna help. She's just gonna fly over and I guess make an attack.
Okay. Sure. What kind of attack?
With her, it says claws, but I assume that she's just gonna.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, natural 20.
Well, yeah, that will hit. So go ahead and roll some damage then.
It's not much, but something. Hey, a 4. So 8 plus 2, 10 damage.
Okay, 10, and this is slashing or piercing?
This is slashing damage.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so tears into, again, doesn't seem to be doing, it seems to be doing the full amount of damage to this ethereal-looking creature.
And she's like Cleopatra. She gets like some cat claws or something.
Yeah, sure. All right, I'm digging it. So that is Ozzy's turn. Lilith, you are up next.
I'm gonna see that it's like also that it's susceptible to damage, or do you need me to roll to make?
No. You can clearly see like it's starting to catch fire, like in spots. So it's
Right.
taking hits. So
I want to do Searing Smite. That's
Okay.
like hot, right?
yeah, totally hot. Searing Smite, I believe, does extra fire damage. So that's a bonus
It's like-
action.
White hot intensity is
Yeah.
the description.
Is that what it says? I'm sure. Then I assume it's. I believe Searing Smite is fire.
Yeah,
Searing
it is.
Smite is fire. Yeah. So
Deals an extra 1d6 fire damage.
okay. So as a bonus action, you cast this spell, and then you can move in, and then if you hit, it doesn't get wasted. So if you hit, then this activates.
Tight.
So
So let's. I'm gonna roll to hit.
yep.
I get an extra attack though, so that sucks because it was where's my shit to hit? It's gonna be a 10 to hit.
10 is gonna miss, but you do have a second attack. So go ahead.
Way better. That's going to be 23.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead and roll your base damage plus this extra d6 fire damage. Actually, roll them separate. Roll the fire damage separate. So roll me your sword damage first.
4 plus 6 is 10.
10
Right.
damage.
10
Okay.
damage. Plus
And then the d6 fire.
3 fire damage.
All right. So that is an extra 3, 6 fire damage, and then at the start.
It says that it ignites on fire, so I guess it will continue to do damage.
It is.
No.
I mean, Ozzy's doesn't. That was more for flavor. Yours, it is actually set on fire as per the mechanic of the spell. And at the start of each of its turns, it can make a save or continue to take fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got it to kindle. She just made it a
Yeah,
rough.
sure, of course. Yeah, you started the fire. Ozzy started the
I
fire.
did start. I started.
You warmed it up.
Anything else for? I think that's everything for Lilith.
Yeah.
Because I believe we said you didn't bring Gremlin into the tomb because
Yeah, I
it
don't
was
think
like
we
a
did.
it was like a
the thing. We had to go through that thing where we had to like sidle all the way down.
That's why I was assuming.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
there. He's in his stable.
So Igni, it is your turn, and you see that this thing is kind of like it's rather than kind of floating with some sort of ominous presence as it was before, it's kind of like faltering, like the shoulders are, and like it's kind of like flitting in and out of existence, it seems, this shadowy containment. So it is your turn.
How far away is it?
You just entered the room. We'll say it's within 30 feet. Because Lilith was able to move to it, so.
Can I grab the cloak?
Yeah, you can move up to it and make a grapple check on the cloak.
I would like to grab it. The
Okay.
thing.
So go ahead and make me an athletics check versus if it's, I guess it'll be,
Oh, damn. I was hoping. Okay. Yeah. I'm
Well,
forget
versus
athletics.
it's-
It's the grapple.
yeah, it gets to choose athletics or acrobatics.
Oh, it gets to?
It does, because you're choosing, I believe, or maybe it is acrobatics. Oh, whatever. Either way, athletics is higher for it anyway, so that's going to use that. So.
Oh, okay. Well, my acrobatics is better, but okay, here we go. No, not good. A 9.
Oh, it got a. Is that a 6 or a 9? Oh no, that's still.
It
a
would
10.
have been a 19 with my acrobatics.
Well, it got a 10, so
Oh, okay.
it beat you by 1 point. So you try to grab the cloak, and it kind of like is like it's on fire, and you're trying to grab a cloak on fire, and maybe that's why you're like, oh, when am I gonna get it? I don't know. So that was your action.
Fire is hot.
and my movement, technically.
Right. So you still
okay,
do have
well,
your bonus action though.
Oh, that's true.
And you're a thief, yeah.
I am.
I will allow you to try and make a second grapple, as I'll kind of consider this a using an object, if you will, with your thief fast
yeah.
hands ability. Since you're really not trying to you're just trying to take an item. So I'll allow you to make a second one. We'll give you one more shot. We'll see how this goes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Same thing, athletics versus athletics.
Fudge.
Yeah.
No, I rolled worse. I should have just left it.
How bad?
Like, real bad, like a 5.
Oh, it rolled a 5, but it adds 4, so it got a 9.
Yeah.
So you try as you might, you are unable
Can we say I
grasp.
attempted to grab it? Does my hand like pass through it, or like I hit?
There
something
is
solid?
you feel there is a solid. There is it's how would I describe this best? It's like a thick fog. If that makes sense, right? Like
but there's like density.
there is some density, but it like you go to grab it and like some fingers will go through and then they'll stop and then you'll pull your hand out and like then it's thick in different spots. It's weird. It's like
Is it
ever
the
moving.
shit that you mix with like baking soda and something else where like you can hit it with a hammer and it's solid, but you can also like submerge your hand into it. You remember that stuff?
Yeah.
No, that's weird. What is it?
I
You
feel
guys
like
know
it's
what?
like
I must know.
It's like you take baking powder or baking powder and you mix water or something with it, and it's both a solid and a liquid at the same time.
That breaks the time space continuum.
Chat says
No.
cornstarch stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
the cornstarch.
Cornstarch.
That's what. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know
Um,
what they're called exactly, but
well,
catch-
on
Let's see.
its turn, it's gonna start of its turn. It's gonna roll a 22 Constitution
Non-Newtonian.
save.
No,
So
thank you.
Yeah, that's what it is.
it's gonna beat the save for the Searing Smite.
Oh.
So
Fuck
on a successful save, the spell ends. It does not take any fire damage. And it does not look good, but it's surrounded by people right now. So you watch Igni and Lilith as its hands come together like this, and pieces of shadow tendrils go out and try to grab onto both of you. I will need you both to make me strength saving throws, please.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Strength is
Fuck
my worst.
That is going. oh, I need to-
19! I did okay.
I made
I saved it.
an unnatural 20.
Okay, so you both manage to, like, the shadow, you feel it sort of grip your muscles as if it's going to take control of your body, and you both just sort of through physical force of muscular strength, just expel this from you, and the shadow kind of goes back into it, and that's its whole turn. So, Vanan, it's your turn.
Boy, oh boy. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on this SOB.
Okay, bonus action, Hunter's Mark.
I'm going to come up and I'm going to attack it twice. I'm going to be like, you think you can control me? What? Nah, I'm going to slice it up.
It doesn't respond, but if it could, it would say, like, but I did. But it can't. So,
See that
but
in
I
its
did
attitude.
though.
alright, so go.
Attacks.
Yeah, let's see him.
That's 18.
And the team will hit.
Okay, I feel like that's just barely hit.
No, you're good.
Another 18.
Okay, both will hit, so go ahead and roll me some damage.
First one's 2d6 and a d8.
Yeah.
6 and 5 is 11, and 7 is 18.
Okay, yeah, you just shred through this thing.
I said I was gonna slice it up. That's what happened. That's your fault.
You stab
That's
into
your
this
fault.
thing, and you hit the more shadow thing, and it kind of just, like, swirls, and, like, out of existence, is gone. And the cloak, which is pretty burnt, and through the slicings and things, like, the sleeves have been, and the hood has been cut off. So it's just sort of like a cape. The hood is gone, the arms are gone. It's got, like, scorch marks and holes in it. It was once a very illustrious, nice, like, ivory-colored cloak with gold filigree. And now it kind of just looks like shit. But...
And there's
Let's
nothing
put
that
it in
can.
the bag of holding.
Fuck that cloak.
And the dagger clatters to the floor.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna like to run over and check the dagger since I can't really check the cloak now.
Okay.
Anything in terms of I don't know, just any general information on the. Is there anything distinctive on the dagger? That's what I'm trying to ask.
I was
Anything-
like,
symbols?
one more. We'll get
those
there.
words out. Just give me a second.
We'll
is there
get there.
any? Yeah. Are there any distinctive markings on it or anything that would be recognizable?
Yeah, there is. It has this kind of. You guys saw the picture. I sent it to you in the chat. But basically, it's got this sort of kind of gold filigree along the top. The handle is kind of ornate. And it has clearly along the length of it, although you could not You couldn't really see it because it didn't really use it at all, but it has, there is sort of a green liquid just along the edge of this blade, which Igni, you would clearly know is poison. It is a poisoned blade of some kind. And it has runes along the, there are, let's see. So there's like 8, I don't know, I couldn't spell the word in the top of my head real quick. So there's like 7 or 8 runes, you're like, I don't know, I can't really tell, on the blade. And there's like the handle, like the pommel and the handle of the thing, it's sort of, there's like a clear kind of glowy green at the pommel of the dagger.
Ozzy, look here.
Yes.
These are runes. I cannot read them, yeah? Can you read them?
Let me take a look.
Okay.
Can I read them?
What languages do you speak again? I know it's a lot, so...
I speak Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, Gnomish, Halfling, Celestial, Draconic, Primordial, and Sylvan.
Okay. Funny enough, it is one of the languages that you don't speak.
Oh, no!
Wow.
Can I try and read it?
Sure, what languages... Why don't everybody just tell me what languages they have, and we'll figure out if anybody can read it.
I speak Infernal and Abyssal and Celestial.
Elvish, Dwarvish,
Probably Sylvan.
and Human. Common.
Common.
I
No,
speak Sylvan.
it's none of those.
I speak Human.
I
Is
speak
it like
Drow.
Drow?
What?
Does Drow have their own language?
It's Undercommon.
Undercommon is a language that's used. Drow do... Forgotten Realms lore versus 5th edition mechanics. Drow do have their own language, but it's a sign language. It's all hand signs that they can use to communicate to one another silently, because Underdark, most things, if you make noise, they attack based on that. But Undercommon is the general spoken language by most things contained in the Underdark, and seedy underbellies in a lot of cases too.
Does Igni speak Undercommon? No, right?
No, she doesn't, because of her very awesome character choices.
Which means that, yes.
Through my cleverly veiled context clues, that this is probably Undercommon.
Can I at least tell that it's magical or something?
Sure, make me an Arcana check.
Oh, that was cocked. 30.
Yeah, totally magic. This is definitely a magical dagger.
So it's magical, and I can take, if we have 10 minutes, I can identify what it is, or we should potentially just keep going, because we are in a very unknown place to us right now.
It's true. It's not going to hurt me if I take it, yeah?
It shouldn't. I'm holding it right now, and it seems to be fine.
We take it with us and we find out how it works.
Igni holds it, and suddenly her ego is 3 million times larger than previously.
Yep.
The world is not ready for that.
You also, you can also tell that there is a very, very, very faint, and with your Arcana check, Ozzy, and you kind of think maybe you see a little tiny bit of movement, out of the corner of your eye, but the cloak has, and it's just mostly you're focusing on the dagger, but behind you on the ground is what's left of this cloak. And it seems like there is a very faint residual magic there. But you can't really, it isn't a detect magic, so, or an identify, so you're not really sure. But
I'll walk over towards the cloak and pick it up with my mage hand.
Okay, you have it. It doesn't fight or flail about, you just have it.
I'll throw it in my bag of holding. Take a look at it later.
And then it goes. That happened. What else would you guys like to do?
I actually want to turn to...
I want to take the cloak. It's
okay,
nice
Ozzy
cloak.
has it
It's
in the bag of holding right now.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
We got it. Yes.
I thought I heard it.
yeah. I've sheathed the dagger.
I would like to turn to Dusty and say to her in Primordial, things are getting a little dangerous, but thank you very much for your time. I don't want to keep you away from your family or anything that you have to take care of. So thank you very much for your assistance. And I bow, and I give a very regal bow to her
Okay.
and send her on her way.
And it's like, and this was a, remind me which method?
Dust method.
Okay, and it like in a little like, imagine like a Mario 3 like cyclone, just out of, out of vision,
Out of existence.
out of existence. Yep.
It's going to World 8.
Yeah, it's going right to World 8. It's on the next level, guys. Get on this method's level.
Get on level.
So, you guys watch as the previously, I think this is the first time this was ever done, was last time, as Ozzy summoned this minor elemental creature to his aid, has now been dismissed. Yeah.
Is there a door?
Yep, there's another room.
Vanan is getting impatient. Is gonna walk up to the door.
Yeah? Okay.
It
looks
I'm
like a
gonna follow
generic
it.
wooden door.
He's gonna go to open it, and he's gonna remember the cloak and say, "Does anyone else want to open the door?"
I can open it up with my mage hand.
He's gonna do
That will
exactly
work
what I
better.
just did. Just a snap and a point at it.
I'll send my mage hand out over towards the door. I'll be like, we should probably move back a little bit, just in case.
Okay. So, you're going to attempt to open the door with the mage hand, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
It
stand
is...
in front of you guys with my shield out. That wasn't
I'll
uncommon.
stand next to Lilith with my shield out.
Oh, look at this. Shield
Shield
goes.
buddies
I'll
now.
stand behind
Shield
their
goes.
shields.
Okay, there you go. It is locked.
Nope, door's locked. Can't do anything. On you, Igni.
Okay, I'll walk over and try to pick the lock.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a Thieves' Tools check.
And I guess that uses Dex with proficiency.
Yes. And I don't believe you... Yeah, because you have Thieves' Tools. You didn't take expertise in Thieves' Tools, did you? I don't think you did.
I did.
Did you?
I don't. No, I'm not expertise. I just have
Okay.
proficiency. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, either way.
Oh yes, sir. At a 27.
Wow, that was... Okay, yeah. Not expecting that. This was a very difficult... as you're there working on it, though, you do realize that this is quite the intricate lock. You kind of are starting to get the feeling that possibly you're being tested, or they just don't want people to get in here. One of the two.
All right, so the door pops open. Igni's gonna stand up and like strike a pose. I am just saying this is very difficult lock. You should be very proud of me. Not anybody can do this. Only somebody with the skills necessary. And she goes, "Ooh, maybe that means we are on right direction to see the Thieves Guild."
Yes, I do think that is correct.
Sounds about right. Ozzy?
Mage hand, open door.
Door pushes open.
Can we see anything through it?
It goes down on a slant.
No stairs, just like a slide.
Like not like a slide, but like it is at a downward slant. Yes.
Tell me, what do you see with your elvish eyes?
What do I see with these eyes?
Uh,
Our eyes. I am not elvish, damn it.
as you look down, it goes to the extent of your dark vision, which is 120 feet. So as a drow, so it goes to the extent of it, and it just seems to be a path that is on a, as you're looking down, because it's, it's not like a 45. It's a little shallower than that.
Okay.
But it's going down, and as you focus looking down, and you're looking, see the edge, you lean in a little bit, try to get that little extra few inches, and you're looking at a downward angle, so it's maybe not, like I said, it's not 45, maybe it's like 25, but it's on its way down, and focusing on that, it just seems to go.
I'm a somersault down that path.
Ooh, oh, okay.
Wait. Do I want to do this? I feel like Vanan would just somersault down this path because I just had that thought.
We should probably be sneaky, yeah?
Yeah, I know, but I feel like Vanan would just see the path and then thinking of somersaults, and he hasn't got to do a somersault in like 4 or 5 days. kind of like cigarettes for him.
You're gonna somersault down the stairs?
All right.
That's what I
There's no
heard.
stairs. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye.
He thinks about it for a minute, decides that might be a bad idea.
I mean, it does look pretty enticing, but that's fair.
I'm sure it looks so enticing. It's like, it's so close.
The hardcore parkour potential is so real.
Oh man, the realist.
Imagine you, like somersaulting down and then like landing like in like a Superman superhero pose, like super cool.
3-point landing.
Oh man.
Gotta get that somersault fix, says the chat. It's also Lex,
Fine.
so take that with a grain of salt.
Somersault, doing it.
Okay, make me an acrobatics check.
Well, because I'm really good at acrobatics, that's actually 30, 19 plus 11.
Okay, so you do now. When you say somersault, are you planning to like front flip, or just like roll?
It's what's cooler?
You tell me. This is your move, man.
What do you mean by front flip?
Like, do you want to be like standing on your feet, trying to flip downward, or are you like head on the ground, rolling end over end down this hallway? Are you like
Front flips, like
landing on your feet, then
like
again?
handsprings, yeah, like
Yeah,
little
okay.
handsprings.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
That's the most impressive thing I've ever heard. Doing fucking
I
down the
got
stairs.
I got a 30, man.
All right, so you guys watch
Oh,
as
for body strength.
Vanan does 2 like handsprings over and over, and then Vanan, as you are in the zone, you're like, and the floor gives way underneath you after your second handspring, and
boy.
it just goes and drops out underneath you, and I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. As the floor, and you notice that it's a fairly large chunk of floor just gives way.
Are there
Is he-
some terrible looking spikes below me? Is that what's
It's a chasm below you.
Okay.
Fuck.
Oh no.
Does it look like I could grab him?
He's
20?
he's already done 2 handsprings out down
too
this
far.
way, so he's
Yeah.
too far at this point. So believe it or not, with a 20,
I
you
failed?
can't because of the space.
Yeah, no, I didn't think.
So
20 would be
you
enough.
actually like 2 handsprings, and then when your feet would land, they just go, and then you are like, and you feel you drop, but your back hits something, and you are in some sort of viscous, wet slide. Like imagine like the Goonies, right? You are going down this slide in the dark.
Can I try and just stick one of my short swords just like into the wall or something, just to like?
Holy fuck, we're playing shoots and ladders.
You can try. Yeah, go ahead and make me a strength check as you're sliding down.
Wow, I'm terrible at these. That's a 4.
You guys now hear a screeching from...
Okay, I'm taking action. Igni grabs rope off of her and binds it around her waist.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm gonna toss the other like 40, I don't know how much I've got, other feet of it right at Lila's face. I'm like, hold tight, and I'm gonna run and make the dive in after Vanan.
All right, so you guys watch as she kind of like dives on her
Okay.
stomach, slides in this 25-degree angle down this dip, and you hit this 2, and it's just like it's just squelch as this viscous liquid is around you as you're like on your stomach, hands out.
Wait, where did you throw the other end of this rope?
To Lily.
Right at Lila's face.
Oh,
And
you're muted, Lilith.
yes, you are muted, Brittany. Can you give me an athletics check, please?
Sorry, I was trying to say I tied it around my waist.
That's fine. Give me an
okay.
athletics check, because it is still going to be a jerking motion pulling you forward.
Ooh, 16.
Okay, so you manage to, you get it, you don't get that chance to tie it, but you get it around your waist, so you've got it in one hand, you've got it in the other hand, you're making the motion to try to tie a knot, and you are kind of like, you're skidded forward maybe 2 feet, but you manage to, at least for the moment, hold fast. Igni, you are sliding down on your stomach, and you hear this screeching, just this horrible wood or metal on stone screeching ahead of you. And let's think about math and distances and falling and how we're going to have this work. All right, so what I'll say is you're coming around, and it's not exactly a straight shot, right? There are some banks.
Right.
Here. So you're losing a little bit of rope in turns as you're going down. And then basically you can see, trying but failing to hold on to this short sword as it's like skidding down is like Vanan there, like, it's more like you're not trying to stab it in with your 4. You're kind of more like on an angle, so you're just sort of like scraping down the wall, not actually getting purchase. And it's seemingly worked stone, and there's a viscous liquid there. So, Igni, you can see him, and you can reach out, and I will allow you to make a grapple check against Vanan at disadvantage because you're just covered in slime.
Well, with the disadvantage, this will be interesting. Oh! And a 17.
And what's your armor class there?
Well, I don't have my shield out, so 17.
Okay, so I guess we can make that makes sense. So you manage.
I mean, unless I have, if you think my shield incorporates, then it's.
Well, it's hard to say at this point because you're in a slide full of slime. Also, it smells disgusting. Like, it smells awful.
But I managed to grab him?
Yeah,
like
you managed to grab on, at least for the moment, to him, but it's slippery. You guys are kind of like... And then at that point, you feel the jolt as you are gut-checked by this rope.
Ooh. Okay.
And Lilith, you feel the pull as this jolt happens.
All right. I'm going to bear hug Vanan. Just wrap my body around him, and I'm going to look him dead in his little beady elf eyes. Think first. Tumble second. And then I'm going to give a solid 1-2 pull on the rope to try to signify get us the
It's
fuck
universal.
out of... Yeah.
All right,
1-2 tug is universal.
That's super universal for me to fuck up.
Vanna's just pouting at you, just like, sorry, we didn't mean it.
Now we are slimy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And it smells.
Don't yell at me, please.
And smelly.
It smells
sorry.
so bad.
It smells so bad.
I know.
Like you're not sure, but this might be sewage that you are in right now.
We might be in poop hole.
So Lilith, I'm gonna have you make
I didn't mean it.
Let's see. I'm gonna have you make me. We'll call it 3 athletics checks. The first one is fine, but eventually, when you start getting to the slimy rope, it's gonna be a little harder to get.
Kind of a help.
What would you like to do?
I was wondering if there was a way I can use Maximilian's Earthen Grasp to help with this, to get more stability, but without crushing Lilith.
I will say you could make the hand grasp the rope, I guess.
Please don't use a spell scroll on my fuck up. Never mind. Do what you want.
It's your call.
Just to help out, or I could just grab onto her waist and pull as hard as I can with her.
It's you tell me what you want to do.
Can I use the aid action to help leverage and pull her back as well?
Yeah. I mean, do you want to use the? I guess you want to use the spell for this, or you want to just try to help with your physical prowess? It's up to you.
I guess I'll try and help. I'm not that bad. I'm average.
Yeah, no, that's all right. It's fine. You can aid Lilith here. So this first one she'll have advantage on. So go ahead and make me an athletics check with advantage.
First roll is a 6, and the second roll is an 18 plus 6 for my athletics.
Nice.
So you manage to pull in 10 feet of the rope, no problem. So now, as you're starting to pull, you're starting to feel this gross, and as you look at it, it's this because you guys are in the light where there's actual torchlight where you're at, it is this just brownish green, just disgusting liquid. And now with Ozzy's help pulling on this, I will have that negate the disadvantage you would have had. So you can go ahead and, as you're pulling through this slimy, just grossness, go ahead and make me another athletics check.
That's going to be an unnatural 20.
Okay.
Yes.
You manage to pull in another 10 feet. And this is the last one. And you guys are slowly being pulled up. And Igni, it's like you're just kind of getting, you have like a constant Heimlich maneuver going on.
Ugh.
And it also doesn't help that it smells like shit where you are.
Right.
Yeah.
I look at Ben and I go, if I throw up on you, I do not feel bad. He is unfazed.
So this is your last. Sorry for the squeak there. This is your last athletics check, and again, this is not at disadvantage because Ozzy's helping.
That's a 12.
So 15 was the DC.
Oh,
So
no.
it starts to slip through your hands, and I will now need you to make an athletics check. And you have the two of you have the rope. Ozzy's not. There's however much weight on the other end. It's 2 elves, so it's not a lot.
I am no elf.
So fine. So there's an elf. So it starts
I am woman.
to slip through your hands. Go ahead and make me
Elf and
an
a woman.
athletics check at disadvantage as the rope is like going out.
So the first roll was a 5 plus 6, which would be 11. And then
Okay.
the second roll was a 13 plus 6.
What? You okay?
Yeah, I just want to make sure we don't fall again.
All right. So you slide. They slide. The rope is zipping through your hands now as they've kind of become saturated with fecal matter and whatever else.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
That's what it is.
Oh my fucking god.
Now that you're looking down at your hands trying to hold the rope, you're getting like a look at it and you're like, oh,
I don't want hepatitis. Oh my god.
pretty sure that was a piece of corn. As the rope is just like and you've so basically about 15 feet of the 30 feet that you've pulled up has slipped back through your hands. You're getting to the end of the sliminess, but your hands are a bit so go ahead and make me another athletics check with
Okay.
disadvantage.
Mad. Lilith is getting fucking angry.
I will say that you do have gauntlets on, right? You're a paladin, so you're not like
I better not be getting rope burn from.
No,
you.
we'll say that you have gloves so you don't risk hepatitis. You're also a paladin, and at level 3 you become immune to disease, so you're fine.
That's true. You're not going to get
So
it.
what difference does it make?
Oh, I know. You just can't get hepatitis.
You have poop hands
Still.
now.
You just
Still.
have poop hands, yeah.
Oh my god. I rolled a. I have to do math, and I suck at it.
To say the numbers.
That's 24.
Okay.
I rolled
Nice. That's with disadvantage?
No, that is not with disadvantage.
Oh.
Oh, that was with disadvantage because the
Nice.
last roll was a natural 20.
All right, yeah.
Oh.
So you manage to stop. The rope is basically stopped now, and you're on like the last 5 feet of the rope.
The harrowing adventure.
Yes.
Okay.
But at this point, as the rope, you guys are being slowly pulled up and up and up, and then all of a sudden you just free fall for about 30 feet, and then it gut checks you. Igni, I'm going to need you to make an athletics check to keep hold of Vanan.
Oh my god.
Because
Vanan,
it's
we're gonna all
basically,
have
like
to
I
try.
said, this rope is like Heimliching you, and you just dropped like 30 feet and just get...
This was a terrible idea. I'm so sorry, guys.
I love
So I
it.
rolled-
This is what...
3. But he's technically hanging on to me too.
So I will let Vanan also make an athletics check.
A 1. Is it a 1?
No,
Is
What
it
is
a 2?
a 2.
it's 4.
Which is a grand total of...
4. I have 0.
God damn it.
All right, Igni, you are stopped, and as you're grabbing onto him in the most cartoonish fashion, he just like
No.
right through your, and he grabs onto you, and you just slides back off, and then you hear the scraping of the short sword as he slides further down into the darkness.
Okay, I yell up, give me some slack! And I guess I'm gonna go back down after him. I have a new plan. How wide is this? How wide is the poop hole?
How wide is the poop hole?
How wide is the poop hole?
Well, basically, you've got a lot of area overhead, right? Because it caved in like a 15-foot space. So you're in like a 10-foot round circle here.
Okay, but I mean, like, so, like, the tunnel itself is, like, 10 foot by 10 foot?
10 feet around, yeah, like a 10-foot tube. Like a sewer tube.
Great. Okay, I'm gonna try, yeah.
Because you're like at the end of the rope here, Lilith. So you don't have a lot of slack to give.
I was about to say I could activate my wings and fly up. Do I have enough space to?
I mean, your wings are technically like ethereal, so I would say basically if you kind of like turn sideways, you could like crab step in with your wings and hover over the hole there. Get an extra 10 feet of rope.
Okay. All right, I have a plan. Okay. It's not a good one, but it's a desperate plan. Igni is going to pop her earring out.
Oh, okay.
Here. Toss one of her pearl earrings up towards Lilith. So like, because I was relatively close to the top.
Yeah,
right?
You were closer. Yeah, so we'll say I'll say even if you were to like quickly pull out your sling, I'll say sure.
Just able to like toss it up and over, so it like it hits the ground and at her feet. Mm-hmm. I'm going to cut the rope.
Okay.
And tumble down after Vanan.
All right. Okay. So you guys see that we'll say that with Igni's expert accuracy with this, even though the floor is slanted, it gets to a spot where it doesn't roll back down. You can pick it up, and Lilith, you pick it up, and it's a pearl earring, which you recognize to be one of Igni's earrings.
Okay.
That's all you know at the moment. You have an earring.
It's like, what the flip?
I just realized where we might be headed.
And Igni is gonna dive down and try to grab Vanan as he's sliding. And as I am sliding belly first down the poop hole to grab you, Igni's going to say, "Dear God, we shall climb back to back." When I go to grab her.
So, what I feel like I've been pretty lenient on time frames for this. But the fact that you had to take the time to throw your thing up and then cut through the rope and drop, I'm going to say he's probably too far ahead of you to catch.
Really? Even if I like nothing I can do to catch it?
Cut the rope. Why didn't you just let go of it?
What? Let go of what?
It was wrapped around.
It was wrapped around me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it was tied to me, and there was no slack for me to like go farther down, so I went in after him. Oh, come on, there's got to be a way to catch him. I say, I'm coming for you!
And again, like I said, it is a little banky, right? There's some turns. Things like a water slide. Like the worst water slide. I
started making my next character.
How far down can I rightfully assume we've gone?
You're probably, at this point, you'll say you're probably about 30 feet. So, Vanan, you continue for another, 30 or so feet in this dark tunnel that's winding back and forth before you feel the thing on your back, like the rock just let loose, and you are free falling for a period of about 5 seconds before you impact into just some sort of viscous pool.
Can I see anything?
What? Can you see anything?
Yeah.
No. When you open your eyes, you're like, that's a bad idea. And you can swim to the top.
No, I mean at the top.
Oh, okay. I was just like, open your eye. Okay.
I don't know if I'm in a gelatinous cube or
Talk
if I'm
about
just in
pink
sewer.
eye for the rest of your
Yeah,
life.
dude, that's permanent pink eye.
That's permanent pink eye.
No, you swim to the surface and you open your eyes and you see in the darkness around you, you seem to be in some sort of sewage pool. And you can see that it's about a 30-foot radius pool. So you can see that it ends. There's a side you can climb out to.
Okay, I'm gonna swim.
Okay, and it is worked stone here. And there's a large rounded top stone door about 30 feet in front of you.
Okay, there's a big
with a triangle on it.
With a triangle on it.
Yep.
Is there anything else around me? And do I hear a...
You do. As you get out, kind of pull the slop out of your eyes and maybe a little bit out of your hair, clean your face off a little bit, then realize your hands are dirty and wipe your hands off and clean your face off again.
And then realize my leather armor is dirty.
It's dirty.
There's nothing I can do.
It's a literal shit show. And then you hear the impact as Igni, you go face first into this. Just
Wait, I don't get a save? I can't try to stop myself coming down?
I mean, it's a 10-foot circular tube.
Oh, I guess not. Okay.
So you come out face first. Or I'll say you could turn yourself around in the air if you want, in the 5 seconds of free fall, if you prefer.
I mean, nobody prefers to go face first into a pool of poo.
Alright, so we'll say you manage to orient yourself around to go feet first in to this pool. And then surface and see Vanan at the side there and swim to the side and kind of...
Okay. As I reach dry land, I touch the other earring.
Yeah.
And I go, Lilith, Ozzy, can you hear me? Lilith.
And well, make me a perception check.
That is
Wait,
a 15.
Okay. Yeah, you hear like a very, you know how like sometimes when your phone is not on speakerphone and it's in your pocket, and when it's quiet, you can kind of hear like a very faint noise where someone's like, "Hello."
You can hear somebody else's music through their hair.
You're like, "I'm still here. I'm in your pocket." Like you can hear that coming from like you're like, "Well, that was weird." You pick up the earring.
Yeah.
Wait, since when do we have communication earrings? Did I miss something?
I've had these and I've never used them except for once.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a trinket she got at the beginning. It's an earring that you can hear what's coming from the other end.
Oh.
So it doesn't. It's not two-way communication. Okay. It's you can hear what depending on which earring you have, you can drop it and hear everything that's said. So anything that she says, they can hear. But
right. It's basically like one of them's a mic, one of them's a speaker.
Correct.
Yeah. So you guys got the speaker end, I have the mic end. So
you guys hear this. Not that you can. I mean, you can yell down the hole. But yeah, you hear this.
Okay, so and I go, yeah, I hope and pray that the other earring made it to you. If you can hear me, we have landed at the bottom in a pool of poo.
Oh.
Lilith, what's going on?
I think you should all come down here. There's a real big creepy door. Wait.
Vanan feels like we should come down. He is right, there is creepy door, but good
and
news.
there's a weird symbol on it.
There is triangle symbol. Triad, yeah? Is that the triad?
Mm-hmm.
I relay all of this to Ozzy, and I'm like,
I'm not going down there. There's shit down there.
I'm not either. I don't. I'm looking at my hand, looking at my shit smeared gauntlets, and I'm just like, oh no.
Oh god, no. No.
We could fly down there, and I can carry you. Is that...
This is where the party forever splits. Also,
on a path of no return. We'll follow you through anything except for a shit tunnel.
Oh man!
And you guys hear a very faint like click and a click as you look back down and you see where the fake floor was closes up, and you're able to. We'll say you were able to extract the remaining rope that you have, but you see that the floor resets.
I don't want it. I'm gonna let it fall. I don't want to touch that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's gonna coil up poo rope?
I'm not gonna fucking hold on to that shit rope.
So yeah, as you guys look, as you look through this door, you guys hear Igni and Vanan after a little while, like, and you see with your dark vision the rope just drop into through the slide into the pool.
Yeah, we're like.
And he goes, great. Well, if you can hear me, I say really dirty things now to you. And I make a symbol with my hand.
It's like giggling. I'm like, what do you want to do, Ozzy?
Yeah, so you guys see that in this tunnel, this hallway, after about, again, you saw it was about 15, or maybe 10 feet in or so, that the 15 to 20 foot section of floor that gave way just clicks and resets, so it seems like there's no difference in the stonework.
Mm.
And that's the only way out that you know is down that path.
Should
Okay.
we potentially try and just keep walking down the stairs past that and see if maybe we can meet them at the bottom?
Yeah, I think so. Door's already closed. Not opening it again.
All right, so as you guys are looking and kind of sussing out what's going on in this hallway, I'll let you both make perception checks. Because you're taking time to think about what to do here.
I rolled 14.
Natural 20.
All right, perfect. So, Ozzy, you notice, which was almost imperceptible in the dark, and in its makeup and its design is so similar to the surrounding that it blends in. Even with dark vision, it's hard to separate the two, especially because dark vision is shades of gray. You see that sort of behind the door that opened, like actually behind it, you see there are several almost flush to the wall rings, like metal rings.
Oh.
And with that, you kind of look around. That's weird, right? You look around the area. And then you can see right above you, almost imperceptible in the ceiling, is a tiny little hook in the ceiling. Like, sticks out, and based on looking at that hidden little alcove with this ring, it looks like that ring can sit on that hook. And this ring is about this big aroundish.
Oh.
Oh, that's funny that that's so well disguised.
Yeah. Maybe we should put that
Well,
on
again,
the hook.
it's behind the door's open. It's behind the door.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Lilith, you're a bit taller than me. Do you think you could reach that up on that hook?
I'm looking around. Is it?
Yeah, now that he points this out, you can see that you can take this ring, and it sort of like clicks into this hook.
Oh, okay.
And then as it clicks in, you still got a grip on it, but the hook slides forward, like down like a track.
Oh, I see. So we could like swing across,
Oh, zip line.
like a zip line. Yeah.
Zip line down.
And as again, you've got it probably at arm's reach as this ring is there. You see a second hook like drop down behind it.
Oh.
How clever. So I grab that one and hoist you up to grab the ring.
I grab on.
Like a child, just under the armpits.
Yeah, so you guys can both grab onto this. Yeah, and if you so wish, you can hold on
Zip line it.
Zip line it, yeah.
Hell yeah.
So just take us through the whole dungeon.
Basically, you guys
Right
are
here.
in the really cool, in the dark zip line. Right?
Hell yeah.
And
It's like a roller coaster,
It's
like
awesome.
Magic
It is like a roller coaster. And then eventually, you, Igni, and Vanan hear like a scraping. And you guys watch as coming towards you. Basically, if you guys came out of the pool, there's the door about, I don't know, 10 feet to the side of the door. The stone slides to the side, and basically, Ozzy, as the as the grade slows down, you basically come to a point, and it clicks to a stop, and you are right outside the door where these two are. Completely and then Lilith, you come in right
Oh,
behind.
hey guys.
Oh, hi.
Iggy
Hey,
says, it's great, it's great. See, you could have taken Hook Vanan, instead you wanted to take the slide.
What?
Go
Vanan
keep
is
your
sulking
distance.
in the corner, just like with a stick playing around.
It's okay. We
Hello.
learn, yes. We learn from mistakes, yeah? Okay, so,
Yeah.
shall we go? Creepy door is yonder. Pool of poo is behind you, and this is all I know.
Ozzy, do you know any like conjure water spells or anything like that? You guys are stinky.
Ozzy, do you have prestidigitation?
You can
No,
clean us. Oh my god, Ozzy.
that is not a cantrip I took.
I was about to say, the only wizard ever
to not
In the
take
history and the history of
I
wizards.
have
do not
Mage
take
Man,
precedence.
Ray of Frost, Light Message, and Bigby's Universal Gesture.
I push Ozzy into the pool.
Oh, you can try. You can make it. You can make a.
Feels too bad. He won't do that.
Okay.
Oh.
I was gonna say you'd make a shove attack and we'd resolve
I
how
would
this
have
goes.
Misty stepped so fucking hard. So fucking hard. I would have been so mad.
Oh man.
Okay.
Damn.
Vanan, like, walks up to Ozzy and is like standing real close for a second,
And you can smell
and then
him.
like kind of looks at you, and then just like walks away. Like,
Vanan,
no.
I'll look at him in the eyes and be like, remember the necklace.
Oh God.
Damn. We're all getting real comfortable with each other.
This is getting
Say-
tension.
We are such good friends.
I was going to say the family dynamic has
Yes.
really kicked in. Igni goes,
Vanan
I
starts
can't.
taking off all his clothes and like.
Oh,
shaking
don't
them.
do that. Oh, like a wet dog coming in the house. And she's like, Igni goes, I cannot deal. We are here for information. And she walks over to the door and like
Okay.
pounds her hands on it. Is it stone or like wood?
It's stone, but you pound your hands on it, and it just kind of up into the ceiling.
It's lubricated with shit.
You just knock. Always just knock on the door, says the thief.
Yes.
Says the thief.
What do we see once the door raises, Tim?
You see that there is a staircase that goes up, and as you do that, like purple lit torches
Oh,
up the stairs.
it looks to be that someone is expecting us. Well, I cannot get any worse than this sheet. And Igni starts up the stairs.
Oh man, oh, it's so good. I love it. It's not. All right, yeah. You go. You start going up the stairs. As your
Basically,
boots-
Ozzy's using his mage hand to pinch his nose right now.
That. It's so Ozzy. I love it.
I'll
Oh.
take up the
This is
rear.
quite horrible, if you ask me.
Igni goes, I have no shame. And she's gonna just waltz in. She's pissed that she just swam through somebody else's shit to get here.
Yeah. So
A
you
lot
make.
of other people should.
Yeah, thanks, Brittany.
So you make your way up the stairs, and it opens up into a larger room, and you can see here at the top of this stairs, there is a door at the far end with a triangle on it. But this room is filled with there's tables, there's like a small bar, and there are a lot of people here talking, conversing, folks that are, in mostly studded leather armor, black clad cloaks, shifty thief types, and they're just kind of conversing. And as soon as Igni just stomps into the room, everybody just gets quiet, and they all look. And after about a good 10-second beat, there's just laughter.
Laugh it up, you assholes. Laugh it up. But I have arrived.
Yes, you certainly have.
Vanan comes in naked
With my naked friends.
with his armor, and he's like still like shaking it out. Like, what's going on in here?
And then, again, there's a good 5-second beat, and then the laughter picks up again.
What? A woman cannot get a drink, yeah? And I'm gonna walk right in up to the bar.
And then the bartender's like, ooh.
I'm sorry, is there something wrong? Is there a potent smell in the air?
And he just he puts his hand over his mouth, and he's still chuckling to himself, and he's like, I guess you're new.
No.
My God.
Vanan
No.
walks up, buttoning his pants.
Yeah,
And like,
because the people who've been here before know the right way to go. And he just starts laughing, and the other people are chuckling around the table, and they're like,
as I'm buttoning up my shirt, it just looked like a whole lot of fun to roll down that pathway.
and he just goes, shit rolls downhill, and he just starts laughing. Everybody else is laughing.
It does. Puts on Van's.
And then Lilith and Ozzy walk in completely clean.
And they're like, hey! As you guys walk in clean. And like, there's a guy like nearby the door who's just like he's you see him and he's got a coin and he's kind of like knuckling the coin back and forth and he's got another one in this and you guys walk in and he's like, so you must be new too, but looks like you guys figured out the right way to go. Congratulations. The mistresses think it's kind of funny because you're trying to make your way into a thieves guild. What's more demeaning than going through a literal river of shit to get here? They got a funny sense, and he just chuckles to himself and keeps knuckling the coin as you guys walk in. And you see him smiling. He's got like 4 gold teeth.
Can I ask the bartender for like a gallon of water?
And he's just like, and he just chuckles and he just like reaches underneath and picks up like a bucket that you can see is like a well-used bucket. It's a mithril bucket, strangely enough. And he just like, and he like puts a brush and he like slides a bar of soap and he goes, this isn't the first time. And he just slides it on and he goes and he like points you over to a door in like off to the side.
Madame, I'll bow to Igni with the bucket and the sponge and the soap. Like, shall we bathe?
She looks around just to make sure everybody heard. Okay, and she's going to go, I do not need any room. What do I have to be ashamed of? And she'll drop her cloak, and then she's going to take the gallon and just, like, flash dance it right on her head in front of everybody and just...
That's the most igny thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. But I guess for, whether or not it's you're taken aback or shocked by it all, I feel like this is probably the first time something like this has happened. So Ozzy, Lilith, and Vanan, along with the rest of the Thieves Guild here, get a little bit of a show, so that's fun.
I mean,
we're all like just like open mouths and blushing, like, oh my god.
I'm kind of surprised this didn't happen sooner.
What? You wanted me to swim through shit?
Dan has a spark of an idea.
Oh god.
Yeah.
The dancing Johns just
says, the naked Johns.
Yeah, the Johns just upped it a notch.
And then it's like
Stripping Johns?
Like, the naked Johns.
The naked Johns.
And then it's like Igni, like, this is the fucking idea. This is the fucking thing that will get us to the stars.
She goes, I am not here to perform for anyone. I just wanted to get myself clean so you can, quote unquote, take me seriously.
Fine.
And she goes, oh, and looks at the bucket and realizes she's not left you very much water. And hands you an almost empty bucket and goes, guess you have to deal.
Man, I tell you what, folks. You want to put tension in your party, make one of them make another one go through a river of shit. That's how you put tension in a party right there.
That or shopping.
That or shopping. Yeah, those are the two things.
I'll look at the bartender and be like, is there more water?
And he pulls out like a second bucket, but this one's just like a wooden bucket. It's not like anything fancy.
I'll take the wooden bucket and pour it into the mithril bucket.
Okay.
And then dump it on my head.
Okay.
The mithril makes it special.
Sure. It makes it easier to pick up over your head. It's a bucket of water made out in a lightweight material. So,
true.
Okay. You guys take some time to douse yourself with clean water. May or may not use soap and then the brush. That's up to you.
Yeah.
And then
definitely.
you, I guess, re-robe.
Yeah. They'll be kind of, damp.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I could hang out naked.
And that's your call.
Vanan's definitely not opposed to it, but we're kind of in a seedy underground bar, so he'll like think about it for a second and then put his clothes back on.
I think I have an extra pair of clothes.
I was about to say, I think I do too. I've got a few, like normal,
Ozzy, how tall are you?
armor-based ones.
I am 5'5".
Okay, I'm way taller than you. Never mind.
You could wear it'd be like half shirt, you know.
You have a midriff shirt.
Yeah, get a midriff shirt, some capris. It'll be good.
Vanan's literally been wearing the same clothes for the past like 50 years. So
I guess this is a good point to bring this up, since everybody literally saw every inch of both of you. You guys have any like scarring, tattoos, any stuff that people in your party or the Thieves Guild may not have known that now they're privy to see as this happened?
Oh yeah, actually, Vanan has like a fuck ton of like slashing scars was on his back.
Okay. Well, you guys again, like
Like,
with
he,
a
like, bent
sword
over.
or with like lashes, like with a whip.
I feel like to tell you like what the origin of it would be is
Fair enough.
there needs to be some kind of investigation into
That's
or something. Like it's not
Fair.
fair.
readily apparent.
Is it?
There's,
Is
like,
it?
lots of
It just
scarring
like the
on it.
whole back? Your whole
The
back?
whole back.
Okay.
The whole back.
Well, there you go. So you guys again now see that. Igni, what about you?
You see that Igni has taken very good care of herself
All right.
over the last few years. That is literally her body is. It's her.
Igni's
It
body
is
is
her
temple.
instrument. That's correct. It is literally my body is my instrument. I take care of it like a rare item. It says right there. I'm
All right.
bonded with my body.
That is her bond. Yeah, there you go. So
Girl, you exfoliate and
Damn great.
Deal.
moisturized.
That's right. And so I guess as this is going on, once I kind of clean off, I walk back over. I'm gonna walk back over to Lilith and Ozzy. I'm like, this man with the coin, he makes me nervous, which tells me he knows something. They spoke of the mistresses.
Mm-hmm.
Ozzy has his hand like this.
I'm sorry, is there something bothering you? Ozzy?
I'm just trying to give you some privacy.
We should probably smell a potato.
I am
About
re-
privacy.
I was about to say, I am re-rolled, kind of.
It's more for me than you.
Yeah,
Walk
yeah.
over to Ozzy, like half putting on clothes.
Well, you're not a virgin anymore, are you?
No. But still,
No.
I believe in
Oh wait,
privacy and all that.
what? And then Vanan will give you a high five.
So bad.
We're all just like giggling awkwardly, just like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what
So we are here. We made it. It seems. I have never myself been inside of Thieves Guild. I probably will not come back. I'll be honest. But now that we are here, it seems important for us to gather the information we came for.
I agree.
This gentleman with the coin, does he seem to be of a higher status or something than everybody else? Like that's something that would make him.
Or is he just a bouncer?
make me a. Let's go with an insight check. See if you can kind of get a feel for this guy.
Nah, 6.
He's got gold teeth. That's kind of cool.
Okay.
He's doing that classic thing that like villains, like sneaky guys do.
All right.
I
gotta
desperately want to
stand
know.
up.
I desperately want to be able to do that in real life so bad.
Yeah, same.
Like,
So you can be a
I can do
sneaky
it with the
guy.
drumstick, but I
I was
can't do
about to say,
yeah,
learn-
drumsticks, no problem. Pens, pencils, freaking
Start-
Boris from Goldeneye, no problem.
Start practicing with poker chips instead of coins.
All right.
Poker chip. That's the best way to learn.
Yeah,
fine.
it just.
You all just like fucking know. Chelsea's gonna be like,
Poker chip. Do it with poker
Alright.
chip. It's weighted a little heavier with clay ones, and so it's a lot easier to get the flip
Yeah, that
to
makes
start, and then you can like move down coin size. Which means Igni is not impressed by coin flipping, man. She's seen this before. She grew up with con men. She
does it
says,
with a dagger.
that's right. I has idea. She's going to saunter over, kind of wet, in her clothing, to this gentleman that's flipping the coin. Says, excuse me, sir.
And he looks he looks up at you and he says, and he kind of like catches and like in a very sleight of hand movement, the coin goes into his sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at you and he goes, and he just kind of steeples his fingers, and he says, "Yeah, what can I do?" And he's trying to like bite back a little bit of a chuckle in his voice. He says, what can I do for you?"
Nothing in particular. It is our first time.
And he says clearly,
Obviously, yes. Let me finish that statement for you. Yes, obviously. So we are interested in procuring information. I know you know where to get it.
and he says, "Well, at least you're observant."
I can still see through the shit even if I am covered in it.
And he chuckles to himself. He thinks that's pretty funny. So.
Well, I'm glad I could be his entertainment for this evening.
And he says, so what kind of information are you looking for?
The kind that may tell us of cult happenings, or maybe even of special. What are they called? Turn around to Lilith. When they put out a hit on you, you know, right? Because we came to ask about all the deaths that were happening. Somebody ought to know about the deaths, right?
Oh, I think it's just called a contract.
A contract. Thank you. Igni turns around and goes, yes, contract. Or a list of contracts that may be out to kidnap and or finish someone.
And he sits there and he kind of scratches. There's like a wispy, little bit of a beard growing. It's maybe a day. It's mostly 5 o'clock shadow, and he says, all right, so you're looking for someone that put out a hit on somebody or something to deal with cults. Is that right?
I am looking for anyone, yes, who may be able to enlighten us on recent events.
And he kind of like surveys the room, everybody that he sees here, and he's like, well, because I don't think you're going to find anybody out here that's got that kind of knowledge. He goes, there's the ladies in charge of this whole operation. They're pretty well, they're pretty informed. They may be the ones that you want to talk to. But he goes, but they don't meet with just anybody.
So, but you are telling me I came all this way and these women are not here?
No, they're here. They just may not want to talk to you.
Well, how does one, procure time with these ladies?
And he kind of like looks you up and down, and he like peers over to look at your friends, and he goes, well, you got to prove yourself worthy.
Was sliding down the shithole not enough?
No, that's just their kind of sense of humor.
Oh, well, aren't they just funny ladies?
He goes, I'm never gonna say that to their faces, but you could try it, see how that goes for you.
Well, we shall see. Well, so this means I can, in fact, speak to them face to face.
Yeah, I mean, you can certainly try. But they gotta, if you go up there, they may say, yeah, sure, but we're here, go do this for us, then we'll give you the information that you need.
Oh, I see there is quid pro quo.
Thieves Guild is a business, if nothing else.
Of course. And and where, in fact, or how do I begin this trial to be able to speak to the ladies?
And he goes, and he sits up off, he's kind of like leaning on a wall, and he kind of like stands back up a little bit, and he goes, you just got here, so, he goes, if this is something you're sure you want to do this? Because it goes, I will go and I will try to get a conversation going so you can at least approach them and start this transaction. But if you found out where we are, you know that, so now you know something that makes you a threat. So if you go up to them and say you want information, and they say, we need you to do this for us to get this to happen, there's no going back. Because what's to say, I don't know you, and everybody here is all a bunch of thieves, so if you say, I ain't gonna tell nobody that I know where you are, I ain't gonna believe you. So if you start down this path and want to go talk to them, which is fine, I can do that. You just gotta be willing to do whatever they say for you to do. And he says, and he looks at you, and like as everybody else is kind of like leans in close, and he goes, I don't really think you're gonna be the problem. You seem like you might fit in here pretty good.
Oh, if I have not shown my level of commitment, let me just remind you, I jumped down hole to save that one. And I kind of point over at Vanan. And these two were able to figure out how to get down here because I jumped in hole after Vanan. So, commitment is not the problem.
And he goes, but what about your friends?
What about
Because you're committed. Are they committed?
I was just about to say Copernicus was also with me, but he can fly. It's fine.
It's fair.
I was about to say it'd be very one-man crescent, but we're good.
Let me converse with my friends, and we shall...
He goes, I ain't going anywhere. I'll be right here. And he, like, the coin pops back out in his hand, and he's just...
Didn't expect so. Okay,
make me a perception check real quick while you're there.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. I had an 18.
Okay. You can see that, like, as he's kind of sitting there and he leans back against the wall, like the outer part of his coat, just in the way that he's leaning back, slides back a little bit, and you can see that there is, like, bandoliers or just daggers on the inside of his cloak.
Okay.
Something you catch. So.
Very... Yeah, do they flash with gold or green on the hilt?
No. Different entirely. Just, but to give you the...
Equipped.
Yeah, he's equipped. He's not here just, like, for shits and giggles. Like, you get the feeling... And the general... The fact that he didn't really seem threatened by, like, what's going on, like, any of this stuff, you get the feeling that this guy, he's maybe been around a little bit.
All right, I walk up to the bar. I'm going to get some drinks for everybody.
Okay. Yeah. And then the bartender's just like, you know what, honey? This one's on me.
Oh,
And he gives you, and he goes,
fine.
not the kind of show I was expecting to get today. And he gives you 4 drinks for free.
And I say, you are welcome, good sir. And I kind of usher everybody over and find an empty table and set the drinks down. And okay, so here is what Man with Coin told me, except for his name. He said that we can in fact get meeting with these 3 women if they in fact want to meet with us. To do that, we probably will have to do favor for them.
Makes sense.
Well, this is what I said. And then he is concerned that you lot may not like what it is that we might in fact have to do.
Well, it all depends.
Depends on what?
Well, is it helping us reach a greater good?
I would say so, if in fact these ladies can tell us about these cults that are appearing, and give us more information as to who is behind some of
Sometimes you
this.
have to do things you don't want to you have to take a couple steps back to get a big leap forward. So
It's true. Like sliding down into
a shithole.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
Just to be able to get to this place. I see your metaphor. Yes.
Dude,
So
is anyone gambling? Is there anyone gambling? Is there like...
Oh yeah, there are multiple gambling tables of things from like dice games to card games, you name it.
I'm like, I have an idea.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go sit down at a card game.
Okay.
Does anyone want to play cards?
No, I don't card.
I don't either.
Is that no one plays cards?
I'm more of a chess person myself.
Well, Van's gonna sit down by himself at this card table and be like, "Hey, can I play? What's the pot?"
All right, so they look over at you, and they're like, "All right," and they're like, "It's 20 gold buy-in."
20 gold. Psh. I still have 300 plus. If need-
Yeah, you never took that back from him, did you?
Nope.
I
Hey,
think
wait a second. Didn't I give you some money?
I've only got 310. Did you?
Which
give
he
me
seems
money?
to be in fact gambling away.
Yes, I gave you money so you could buy your sword.
Oh no, I did that already.
Yeah, he dropped it off.
No, we did that already. I'm not using that money. This is technically Igny's money.
Yeah,
This
but
is-
you
No, this is group party fund money.
True.
Just trust Vanan for a minute.
Lilith is shaking her head and she's just like, listen, if you had to borrow money for a thing,
I have
now...
10 gold. And
You know, in the
I mean, I've
Everywhere.
already gone and sat down.
She's like she's just like disapproving. She's like, no, this is not.
Igny's burning a hole in the back of your head with her eyes.
Dude, burn that hole.
All right, so are you? The guys look at you and they're like, "Are you in?"
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, so basically, the way this is gonna work is everybody is dealt a card, but basically, what we're gonna do is everybody at the table will say that there is. There's like the dealer, which he's not. He's just kind of there to deal, but they'll basically give you the winner gets 80% of the pot. 20% goes to the house.
Okay.
So we'll just say to make things easy, there's you and 4 other people, so it's 100 gold pot.
Okay.
So you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna roll a d8, and I'm gonna roll d8s for these guys, and you don't tell me what you get. And basically, the way it's gonna work is the higher the number, the better. And then each person gets a chance to raise the bet, call, fold, etc. Then you will roll a d6, keeping that secret, and then you get one final chance, and you roll a d4, and you'll add all 3 of those together. Whoever has the highest wins. Sleight of hand, you can try to like make a sleight of hand check to tweak the roll in your favor, but if you get caught, you're cheating. Or you can try to use deception to try and force somebody to fold by like, you know, oh, I've got the great hand kind of a thing. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So go ahead. I'm going to roll for these guys. You roll for you for the first round. Here we go.
While we're playing, I'm gonna be like, so friends, my name is Vanan. Me and my troop here, I'm playing for fun here, but me and my troop here, we're here to get information from the ladies upstairs. Do you recommend that, or like can you say no if they ask you to do something, or is that like not a thing?
Well, they're all kind of like looking at you, and they all look at each other, and they all look at you, and the one guy, he just like smiles, and he's like, yeah, he folds. He's out. So it's down to the 4 of you.
Okay.
And the one guy, he's kind of like looking at his card. He's looking at you guys, and he's looking at his card. And he just knocks, so it goes to the next guy. And he raises it 10 gold more.
Okay.
And the guy next to him looks over at you and tries to get a feeling for you. And he calls that 10 gold. And he says, he goes, if you're committed, sure. But if you go down, he goes, you guys made it here, so you're sort of a liability. But some of you look sketchier, so I feel like you'll be okay. You made your way into a thieves guild. I assume that is because you are in fact thieves and want to do unsavory things. So if you go to the boss of a thieves guild and say, I want information from you, then they're probably going to want something in return, and that's the kind of thing you don't neg on. And then it goes to you to call or fold or what have you.
Vanan is beaming.
Great.
And he calls.
Okay, so that is it. The pot is up,
And
and it goes back to that guy who called, and he folds as well.
Can I try and cheat?
Sure. So
We're
if you
gonna
want,
die. We're gonna get.
if you want, so right now everybody rolled their d8s.
Yeah.
2 of the guys have folded, and the pot is up 30 gold on top of its initial 100. So it's at 130 gold. So the next roll will be a d6 to add to the d8. If you want to try and cheat, you can make a sleight of hand check to re-roll. You can re-roll this die or wait to a later one. That's up to you.
Reroll the d6 or the d8?
If you want to re-roll the d8, you can make the sleight of hand now.
I want to do that.
Okay, so make me a sleight of hand check.
Bannon doesn't understand how this game works exactly. He's still
That's fine.
That's 24.
Yeah, you are able to so re-roll. You gotta take the new one, though, because you're essentially switching out cards.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's on to the next round. Everybody
I'll
rolls a
take
d6.
I'll take a picture each time. So
I trust you. We're good.
Okay.
I trust you. So now roll a d6. And then you'll add that to your d8 roll. And we'll say it goes to you to raise, call, etc.
Vanan is very happy.
Okay.
He's gonna put 20 gold in the pot.
20 gold in the pot. All right, so now we're up to 150 gold pot. The one guy, he's like, that's too rich for my blood, and he folds. But the other guy kind of like looks at you, and he's like staring at you, and he goes, and he kind of gets it. He gets a little smirk, and he's like, all right, I'll call. So he calls. Pot is now at 170 gold. Now, you will roll a d4 and add that to your total thus far. All right, now it goes to this guy, and he's sizing you up. And he says, I'll raise it, and he raises it 15 gold. And he looks at you, and he goes,
Can I cheat on this last one?
you can certainly try. Make me a deception, or a sleight of hand check, rather.
Okay, wait. Deception or sleight of
No, I'm sorry, a sleight of hand.
A sleight of hand?
Yes,
Okay.
to cheat.
That's still a 23.
He rolls a natural 1. He does not see it. Go ahead and re-roll
Okay.
that d4.
Damn.
Okay.
So he's like, what are you feeling lucky?
Feeling real lucky.
You gonna call the 15 gold?
I'll call the 15 gold.
All right. So he will show you his hand, and you will show him yours. So what point value are you at?
I got an 8, a 6, and a 4.
Oh fuck! All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first D8 was a 1. Rerolled it to an 8. The D4 was also a 1. Rerolled to a 4.
Well, he only got a 14. So you win the pot. That's 160 gold that you just won.
I'll scoop it up and say,
I was going to say,
wait.
welcome.
Wait, let Vanan do his thing. Vanan will scoop up the gold, walk back, plop it on the table, and be like, we should be really careful about promising things to these mistresses. He'll just, like, give it all, and then also the rest of the 300 golds he had.
He goes, now, that is, I feel 150. Is that what you said? 150? 60?
Oh, yeah, 160 gold. You put in 20, so you made 100. That you made 140. Yeah.
$140 is good payment. 140 gold is good payment for a shithole. I appreciate that. Now we can replace our cloaks.
All
that
right.
I'm more
That was really nerve-wracking, guys. I was really nervous Vanan was gonna lose.
You did great. Now say again. What did they say about the women?
So essentially they were like, they'll ask you to do seedy shit, and they don't really have an end to the seedy shit. So they may ask us to kill someone, they may ask us to steal some stuff, they may ask us to do some bad stuff, and we kind of can't say no if we do go up there or down there or wherever they are. I said down there, but they kind of were just like, they exist, so I don't know what that means.
Okay. Well, that is
Listen, this might conflict with my order.
Yeah.
There's some things that I can do for the greater good, and then there's some other things that, like, I'm gonna have to intervene.
How loud do you say that?
I'm not stupid.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I suspect you're like.
Well, Vanan just comes over and drops gold on the table, and so I don't know how open this conversation is. I'm just checking. That's all.
This is her town. She knows where she's at. She definitely probably she's like on this quest, absolutely, but she also is like, guys, like this is a direct conflict of interest for me. Like, I'm being cool now, but there comes a point where I'm gonna have to be like, sorry, I can't do this. I will get kicked out of my order.
No, that's reasonable. I mean, I don't want to kill anybody.
Well,
When you ask for, you're basically being low-key inducted into this thieves guild. If we know where it's at and we're gonna start doing favors for information, we're kind of, it's like I feel like it's kind of a contract.
So
You don't just casually show up and leave, no problem.
there are sneaky ways to do this. If you all are concerned about the potential for what we will have to do, technically you do not have to go to the.
True. I think it's probably in all of our best interest if I'm not present for meeting these ladies.
Oh, you has earring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you has earring. You can hear all the things without actually having to be there.
Is there a volume switch on it?
Is there volume on earring?
I mean, the thought process was you wear the earring, right? So like you can hear it in your ear, other people can't.
Well, just considering that I heard it from the ground.
Yeah, I mean, it was also pretty quiet. Like there's
Yeah.
people in here, and it's not exactly the most. There's like conversations and stuff.
It's not a silent
I
cavern.
keep thinking of like the ragged flagon.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, exactly.
We're basically in the ragged flagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Party
Sorry,
time.
that was really loud.
Yeah.
That's
this is
okay. It accentuates how we're in a
We're
tavern
in a
area.
tavern.
I mean, that is my suggestion. I mean, if I take on their task, the lot of you can then choose to help or to not help, but not be bound to them.
I'll stay here.
Plus, I don't trust these motherfuckers. And I kind of point around to the group. It may be advantageous of us to somebody to keep watch.
Well, why don't two people go try and talk to these ladies and two of us stay out here and keep watch?
This is good plan.
How about I will stay with Lilith and I can communicate with Lilith using my mind.
Good.
So she
Also
can tell me what's going on, and then you two, being the more confrontational people, can deal with that whole situation.
Vanan.
Who's the confrontational person?
You.
Do you see what I say? Vanan, are you going to be able to do
We're
this?
friends.
Or do you want me in there with you?
Um,
It's up to you.
I feel like, I mean, I don't know, Oz. If you don't want to come up, you don't. I feel like you're really smart and you know things, and you're pretty good at knowing things that me
Thank
and Igni don't know.
This is true, but again, if whoever comes up is basically giving.
Wait. What if we take the microphone earring, you take the speaker earring, and Ozzy casts a spell that lets him hear? Because you can. Does that allow you to? How does that work?
Which
Message?
Yeah.
I have to point, so they'll see me pointing.
And then he can say a
Just like-
message, and then one person can respond to that message.
Yeah.
Okay. Different thing then. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Ozzy, if you don't want to come, like, it's like, I agree with Igni in that, like, we're kind of locking ourselves into some kind of contract or something right now.
I will go wherever you guys need me. I trust you guys.
You know what, Ozzy, you're too nice. Igni, let's go.
you are prepared to take on this contract as well.
Yeah,
Vanan.
Igni, honestly, is like, I don't have any friends. I got you guys. And
It's because you jump into holes.
well, I don't really think that's the reason, but
You also smell like shit.
Agree to disagree, but yeah. Thanks.
Maybe that has something to do with it. Igni, I'm with you through thick and thin. If any of you went up, I'd go up with you guys.
Okay. All right. We need secret code. A set of words that are used to signal that things are going bad quickly. Something to get you and Ozzy out if this turns out to not be in our favor.
Damn, quantifying love sure is hard. That should be the code.
Good. So I have to, in casual conversation, say those words.
Yeah. I'll just bring up a fake possible relationship you might have been in like last week or something. Like, oh man, John broke up with me, and I sure do love him a lot. And then you can be like, man, quantifying love sure is hard.
I love watching parties come up with the phrase, like the oh shit phrase, because it's usually, in my experience, like so far out of anything you would say in normal conversation.
It's not supposed to be a safe word. It's just like it's supposed to be a hidden phrase that we can drop that they don't know.
John, let's just mention John.
John. Okay. If John comes up in conversation, you are here in Earring and know that the two of you need to go all the way back to Lily's house and hide, and we will join you.
Okay. I keep drinking my drink then.
Okay. Nobody else seems like sketchy or seedy, as if maybe we should be investigating anyone in the space, right?
I mean, everybody in this entire place is seedy or sketchy.
It's a thieves guild.
Great.
Yeah, like
Well,
there's not like, oh, that guy right there, he is a saint. Like, that's not a thing.
There's like a baseline seediness, and I'm talking like extreme seedy.
Oh,
It's like you walk in and you know that Jabba the Hutt is the worst motherfucker in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of seedy.
It's like, oh, look at all these people. That guy's Peter Pettigrew. That's
right.
got it. Okay, all right. Make me a insight check.
I have not rolled well tonight at all. No, 9.
One of them is maybe that bartender laughed at you. That guy with the coin had gold teeth. He's clearly got some money, or he stole somebody's gold teeth. It's hard to say.
Can I look around?
Sure.
All
Make
right.
me an insight check with Vanan's immense knowledge of people.
Well, he's actually pretty good at that.
Mechanically, yes.
Mechanically, and also like he's a goon.
Yeah, that's true. All right, good. What do you got?
Wow, that's actually really fucking good.
Good.
Fucking 2 + 3 + 17,
So 22.
22.
As you look around the room, there's a fairly muscly guy with like sleeveless shirt, like just sitting in the corner, and he's just got like a toothpick in his mouth, and he's just kind of scowling. Not seem to talk to anybody, just looking around the room. He's got a face tattoo. It's like a tribal tattoo on his face.
I'm gonna turn to Igni and be like, "Put your scowl on."
Oh no, I'm
then
sorry.
let both scowl
This is resting scowl.
Oh,
Resting
okay.
scowl face.
So
yeah.
Resting scowl face.
Then we'll look at the guy and then at
No,
Igni
no,
and then kind of like try and scowl in the same way. Like,
No, Van. And I grab his face and I turn it back. No, he is very sketchy. I look at Brittany and I go, see her? She is in fact much scarier than we are. He will probably crush you with his bare hands. So we go talk to ladies, and this lady can gruff up to the scary one with the tattoo.
that actually sounds better. Lilith, you're probably better at handling people like that.
They could have, arm wrestling competition or something.
I am 6 foot tall.
There you go. See,
Fully clad in armor, and I am Tilda Swinton.
way more
How tall are
intimidating.
you, Igni? Or Chelsea?
Well, I was gonna say, Chelsea's kind of short. We won't talk about that. Igni, I think Igni's only about 5'5".
Do you guys know that I'm actually kind of a giant? Never mind. What's
You're
up?
what, 6 foot, right?
I'm like 6'5".
What?
As
An
an
elf?
elf?
Shit.
I'm elf?
As a Davis.
As a Davis.
Oh,
Fucking
Did not know
Oh,
that.
word. I did
No,
not realize you were
Van's
that
5'11".
tall.
Yeah, I can't really tell when I'm sitting down because I got like a normal torso and like the super long legs. So pull
I was about to say, yeah, Chelsea's only 5'3" on a good day.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is planned. So, yes, the two of you see Scary Man? I bet you there is something he knows. The scariest people always know all the things. So you talk to scary men, we talk to scary ladies?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, why not? All right, I guess we wander back over to the guy with the gold teeth and coin, and I go, okay. It is hard for me to say that you were, in fact, correct, sir. Part of my team was not ready for the commitment.
We're just like waving in the back.
Yeah, just like...
And he's like, Shaka.
Yes. You are so perceptive. But the two of us, on the other hand, we are ready to do what is necessary to speak with the ladies.
And he's like, well, you already been through the shit, so I believe that. He goes, all right. This is my last warning. You're good with this. Yeah?
I mean, cheers.
Yeah.
All right. And he goes, follow me. And he kind of saunters, like, you know, like he's like, this is so much more effort than he wanted to put in today. And he continues to knuckle that coin as he walks over towards the door, the big kind of rounded top door that's there with the triangle on it. And he kind of like moves, you guys move through, and there's like definitely some casual folks just like heads turn and watch as you guys walk across. And there's like, it's not like dead silence, but there's definitely like a more calm hush about the room as people are watching you guys walk over there. And then he kind of like stops and he leans up against like back, like the doors to his side. He leans up against the door and he sort of like, he like Fonzie elbow knocks the door and you see like a panel slides open and he takes that coin and puts it in like a slot that is in where that slot, like the door slides open, he puts a coin in a coin slot and then the door, and he goes, good luck, can't say I didn't warn you. And then the doors open and there's like, you can see you're entering into a large room and then there's like a column of light like about 60 feet in darkness. And as you guys step in, the doors close behind you. So do you guys approach this?
Yes. Yeah, go straight for it. Why not?
So
Too late now.
Yep. So you guys approach this column of light, and you are in like an interrogation style situation where it's dark, and you hear and you guys are standing in this column of light, and because even though you have dark vision, the light is so like clinically intense on you, you can't really see what's outside of this 20-foot circle of light, and you just kind of hear just sort of like a female voice kind of giggling, coming from seemingly all around you at the same time.
Okay, try and look.
Can you try and what now? Sorry.
Just look around, just like see if I can see where
There's but you're saying we can't see anything.
You can't right now in the light. Perhaps if you stepped out into the darkness, you might be able to see something, but the light around you is just...
I'll do that.
Okay. So you step out and you peer around, and it is just like... It is dark to the point where your dark vision isn't working. Perhaps some kind of magical darkness.
Okay.
And then you, I assume, recede back into the light.
Yeah, I'll go back in the light.
And...
I was about to say, when Vanan rejoins her, Igni goes, is there something funny?
And you just hear a sultry feminine voice come through the darkness and just say, well, we heard what happened, and we just have to say that anytime anyone takes the short but also long way down, we just can't help but chuckle.
Oh, yes, well, we just couldn't wait to get here, so shortcuts.
Can I say a very good job? Do a little golf clap. I like that's a perfect trap. I opened that door and I just wanted to just handspring down that hallway so bad I could not resist it. That was some A+ architecture work. If you're trying to catch people like that, I mean, I'm sure you catch other people that way. And also the ride down in the shit, like that was fun too, until I realized it was shit, and then all my friends were really mad at me, and that made me sad. But no, we're good. That was fun. Good job.
And there's just like silence for a bit as Vanan just goes on.
Yeah, no, Vanon's just rambling.
Yeah. So eventually, after you finish your ramble, you hear a different female voice come out and say, "So, you find yourself here. I believe that you know what that means. So, what is it that you're looking for?"
Over the last few weeks, myself, Vanin, and the rest of our group have found ourselves in some predicaments involving some strange elemental cultists. We are looking for information as to why they are gathering or what is going on. We came here in hopes that the most powerful and informed group would be able to give us the information we need to complete our mission.
And there's a moment of silence as you assume that they're pondering this. Still a third other voice says, "Well, you've come to the right place. So, we have some information on what you're seeking, but I'm sure, as you both must know, that information doesn't come for free."
Oh, just adding in, there was also something I just remembered this. There was also something when we were at the stone place. We heard something about Greymock. I think that's what his name is. Greymack, or something like that. I heard that fella there is coming back or something. We don't really know. We were reading about some stuff, some rituals or whatever. We got some information. And then Davis is out of character is like, didn't we? We actually we found out about Greymock in that.
Yeah, you found a little bit about that it is a great, elder, kind of elemental that of Earth, I believe you found out. I have to check. I'll have to check.
It's been so long.
But yes, you do have information regarding that creature, that it is potentially coming back or is back.
I just want to make sure that Greymock is a thing that we learned about.
You did learn about that. Yes, you learned about that in this the monastery.
Yeah.
So Igni like pops Vanan one as he starts to talk again, and she goes, "We are aware that information of this caliber does not come for free. We are also aware that you will probably ask us to do something as favor for you. We did not come down here simply to ride the slide to the bottom."
And there's a 3 distinct voice, just them chuckling. And they say, what would you say is your greatest talent and asset that you could provide to us? And that shall perhaps dictate what task we give you.
Well, I am in fact a dancer.
And I'm also a dancer, actually. We're dancers together.
We are the Dancing Johns.
You hear John come over the microphone.
We are the dancing. but I'm guessing they've been hearing the conversation.
Oh, they have. Yeah.
Okay. We are dancing troupe. Igni says, we like to dance.
The two of us.
Yes. And when I am, how you say, not dancing, I dance with my blade instead, to procure items that are of value from others.
And then they say, good. That's what we were hoping for. So, if this is we have a potential lucrative business endeavor to explore, and if your talents are as such, perhaps we can reach an agreement, at which point the light ring expands another like 20 feet on either side, and you see 3 women standing, kind of arms crossed, looking at the two of you. Again, all in, pretty nice finery, but they all have a distinct different weapon that seems to be, you would assume people in this position probably pretty nasty, and they do seem to just exude this aura and this air of power and, just this not, don't fuck with us-ness, if you will. Igni, you are momentarily, it is just a shock to your system as you see that one of these women is a pale-skinned elf with raven black hair and spiraling black tattoos along her arms, and you can see it across her chest and her legs. One is a lavender-skinned tiefling with black ram-like horns, and the third is a pale elf with an almost purple tinge to her skin and silvery white hair. You can't be certain, but you're like 90% sure you've seen these 3 women before, dancing a long time ago.
In Waterdeep?
Yep.
Igni lets out an audible gasp, probably something you've never heard before, Vanan, and
Vanan just like, what?
yeah, and Igni probably goes down to her knees, and says, I know you, and she kind of points to the 3 of them.
And they just sort of smile, and they're like, do tell.
I am Igni. I am Igni Dorakin. I learned everything I know about dancing from watching you 3.
And they seem like there's like, they have pretty stone expressions, and there is like a little bit of like a just momentary break to that expression as they seem to be like they weren't expecting that. And they're like, "Oh, go on."
You are dancers, yes? Beautiful, graceful ones. I when I was simply a child, an adolescent, my caravan, we came to Waterdeep every year for the fall festival, and every year the 3 of you would dance, and I would stand there and I would watch you, and I would memorize your moves, and then I would spend all year learning them so that I could come back to Waterdeep the next year and watch you again. I know everything I know is because of you.
And they seem intrigued by this exclamation, and the 3 of them will like look to one another, and then they'll look back to you and they'll say, show us these moves if you truly learned them all.
Okay. Igni will remove the cloak so that she doesn't have it. And I guess she's gonna make a performance check.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage on this one. Why not?
Knows it? Oh my god. Okay, well, an 18 and a 17 plus a 7, so 25.
And yeah, you almost you're stumbling a little bit at first just because like the shock of what is actually happening, but within like a fraction of a second it all just becomes so routine to things you've done over and over again, and like you just as you go through the movements, you lose yourself in what it was to be that child in Waterdeep watching these women dance, and you just go through all of this, and before as you go from move to move to move, it's just it takes you so far back, and to do this in front of the women who taught you inadvertently how to do this, it's just so surreal. And as much as that and as quick as that comes on, you finish the last move and it comes to an end, and there is like a golf clap from the three of them watching you do this.
Yeah.
And Vanan is also there.
Iggy reaches out and smacks Vanan.
Huge smile.
Yeah, Iggy says, I told you, I tell people I learned from the best, and I did not lie. I swore one day I'd be just like you, all three of you. I watch you. You could dance and pick pockets and take everything you wanted without ever wielding a blade.
And they look at you, and then they say, well, if you found your way here, clearly you are following in our footsteps and learning from us. As it's amazing what something like a simple dance can lead to, and they gesture to the entirety of where you are and what's going on. And you see, and what's also really strange to you is you haven't been in Waterdeep in a very long time. And the fact that the two elves are still alive isn't uncommon. But the fact that the tiefling still is. And you weren't in Waterdeep for what, over 100 years, if I recall?
It's like more like 60 or 70.
60 or 70, but even still, she looks exactly the same as they look exactly the same as the day you watch them dance. And for a tiefling who has a human-esque lifespan to look exactly the same is, well, you're not exactly sure what that means, but that's not normal.
Okay.
And they will say, and they will approach you at the end of this, and they'll say, I think that, and they'll sit there and again pause for a moment and say, I think this could be quite the lucrative relationship. And one of them will pull forth from like her chest a scroll with a seal, and it has that triangular seal, wax seal. And they will say, and here is your assignment.
Okay, Igni reaches out and grabs it, and she says, is there anything I should know other than what is written on the paper?
And they say, well, if you learn from the best, I'm sure you know everything you need.
And Igni kind of like stutters. She's just not sure what to say. She says, yes, thank you. We will return. Though, I do not mean to disrespect. Our mission, the one I originally came here regarding information on, is potentially time sensitive. There are bad things going on. Not that I am trying by any means to get out of this. I will fulfill this. But any information... And he will help me.
I'm really good at things.
He is. It is true. Some things better than others.
I do a front flip.
She says, but I am afraid of what it may mean if we put our current mission to the side only to fulfill this one.
And they will look at you and they'll smile, and the tiefling, and they'll all smile, and you can see the sharper teeth of the tiefling, and they say, we don't think this will take very long for someone who seems to be as skilled as you are. There's not much in the way of defenses. This should be a relatively easy pick.
Igni mutters, then you have not met us.
And they're sorry, what was that?
No, thank you. Thank you for your time. I am humbled and honored to even stand in this place. I hate to be this way. Is there a door out of here, or do I have to take this slide again?
And they chuckle and they'll say, "No, there's a door." And then they'll say, "We'll have Spence show you the door when you leave."
Spence. Now I have a name. Okay. Thank you. And I like grab Vanan. I don't even let him stay to say it. Just pull him
Come
along.
on! What? I'll be like, you guys are really cool.
And then, like, as you start to pull him, the light just goes back to that initial circle, and they are enveloped in darkness, and you don't see them.
Cool.
And you guys make your way, and as you start to move, the doors will crack open to allow you to exit, and then the doors will close behind you.
Yeah.
And then you even at, like, you walk out, and it's like, whew, and, like, that momentary, like, holy shit, we just did that, and all you can hear is the sound of a coin tinkling over knuckles as you turn to your left, and your person who led you in is there. And he sees the piece of paper in your hand. He goes, I guess it went well then.
I slap him on the back. You could, in fact, say that. And Igni walks completely flabbergasted back, I guess, to the bar where the two of you are sitting. Still.
Igni, you are about as much as you could possibly blush. You are blushing that much.
Vanan, I will rip your tongue out. If you do not... And she goes, do not talk about it. Yeah, what's happened in that room stays in that room. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It
Oh.
was really cool.
We know what happened. Lilith heard the whole thing with the earring.
All right, David!
And we've been messaging the whole time.
Yeah, Igni comes out, obviously flabbergasted.
Van's like, she was so cool, it was crazy. She did these dance moves, and there were 3 women that were like insane, and they were like really cool. And then Igni was doing some cool shit, and then you were like talking like they were like, oh man, Igni's the dopest, and he was like, nah, you're the dopest, and then it just went so well.
In fact, I don't know that that's how it happened at all. But I like his version better, so.
I slide Igni a preemptive drink that I bought her.
Yeah, there you go.
Look, yeah, Igni like takes it down, and grab the scroll that she's had in her hand and kind of sets it on the table in front of the group. It says, I, in fact, have not opened this yet, but we do have assignment from the ladies.
Open it up, see what it says.
Okay, I unfurl it.
Okay. You unfurl it, and in just like an elegant, wow, almost like calligraphy type writing, very intricate, is basically this mission, this task that you are given. And it states that your mission here is to extract several goods worth, pieces of, jewelry and art and statuaries and things worth, a substantial amount, as well as potentially, if it can be found, basically, for all intents and purposes, like a debit card that will get you access to a bank to clear out said bank. And it will continue to go on and describe, like a couple of different pieces of art, specific pieces of art that you should potentially be able to find. When an associated value, you could see that there's a significant value to this as you're reading through it. And it basically says that it should be relatively easy. There's should be no security, that this location is relatively unguarded, and that it belonged to a noble family.
Oh God. And
there's only one person living there.
Oh shit.
Okay.
And you see that there's a last name
associated
with the manor house. And it says Helder Manor.
Can you?
I just.
What does it say?
Yeah, I was about to say. I just look at Lilith.
I mean, do I need to make a perception check or
I think you could probably just tell.
So,
can I see that?
I have nothing to hide at this point. Oy.
Yeah, so Lilith, you can read this letter and you can see what it says.
So I am in fact to rob you. Though I don't know if it counts as thievery if in fact you own it. And you're aware I'm supposed to be doing it.
What do they want you to take?
Well, this here says, looks like there's some art, maybe some valuable pieces of jewelry.
Yeah, basically, Lilith, you can see that listed out on this is basically any of the, your parents weren't crazy about, they were pretty philanthropic, but they did have, pieces of art and
Heirlooms. They have heirlooms.
Yeah, basically that. And then if they could find basically something that would give them access to your parents' like bank account to clear it out. Because it's been pretty much untouched and there's no security.
Yeah.
My only regret is that I didn't have enough time to write this up and send it to Chelsea to have her read it first before I had to say it out loud. But
So Lilith sits and considers, and she kind of looks up and she's like, all right, let's get out of here. And when we get up to the surface, I have a plan.
Igni lets a smile cross her face and she says, I swear, I think I am falling for you. Say plan one more time.
But Ted, I legit thought you were gonna tell her like you have a hit to steal Volo's Guide to Monsters, but I was like, I was gonna be like, oh shit, but this is way better.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And yeah, you basically will go over to Spence and he'll like lead you to a seemingly unassuming wall. And he will basically, you'll see there's a series of knocks that he does on the wall. And like fucking Diagon Alley, the wall separates and there's a staircase that leads up.
Back into the city we go.
Back into the city. Oh, can I pick up my spear, please?
All right, so you exit. So this is like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon as you guys exit.
I was gonna say, as we leave, I want to say to the guy, this one doesn't have a shit slide, does it?
Slide.
Shit
And he
ladder.
goes, no.
Shit ladder would
He
be
goes, once
also
you get down, it's easy to get out.
Great.
And you guys head up, and it takes you to like another scene. You come out basically, out of like you're in another like mausoleum crypt down the way from where you were, seemingly unassuming. It's mostly degraded. Like the limestone for the like the headstones and things is pretty much pitted from age, and you just kind of you peer outside. It's afternoon, and you exit out into the graveyard, the graveyard district here of Waterdeep. And yeah, so there you go. You guys are outside now.
Hey, we have the back door. We know where the back door is.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's always the most important door to know of. So I kind of turn and look to everybody, and Lilith has got it like kind of a grim expression on her face, because even though she's not, and she explains this to you guys, she's like, I'm not really attached to material things, and that house has a lot of good memories, but also a lot of bad memories in it. There's a reason that I haven't been home in a long time, but I cannot leave Winston without something. So I'll give you everything so you can complete this job, but I have to take it. I'm taking enough for Winston to live out the rest of his days, like relatively comfortably. And then you can have everything else.
What if we make a new house for the 4 of us to live in, like a home, right? And we hire Winston as our butler.
I don't want to hire him. He's got to retire.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you know of something that possibly Winston wanted to do with himself?
Yeah.
Like goals or aspirations or a place he wanted to go?
Yeah.
I have a few ideas because of conversations that we've had in my childhood. But tonight, you'll be able to do what you need to do, but we're going to go there now so I can talk to him about this. This is... Like, it's my family's home. I'm always going to have the building, but like the bank can't take my building, but especially if it gets robbed, but everything inside of it, you know, I can come back to my home later.
I would agree. I am a bit torn, and I want to tell you why. You heard these ladies were in fact a inspiration for who I am. They are my literal role models. But at the same time, you, Lilith, saved me from giving away a part of myself for killing innocent person. I will kill bad people. I will steal from bad people. But I have never in fact killed an innocent person. And you stopped me from that many weeks ago, which is why I chose to travel with you. So I am, how you say, conflicted in taking from you these things.
But you're not... I'm really insisting on giving them to... We have a mission, and I'm very mission-oriented, if you will. So this is part of the mission, and we all have to make sacrifices.
Yes, but you sacrifice. This is big sacrifice.
Girl, I haven't been home in a long time, and the lifestyle that you have witnessed in our family's home is not one that anyone in my family was. We shouldered that to try to use our influence for good. And you see how that turned out for my parents. So there's really no attachment that I have to any of these things. If it helps my gift be easier to receive. The only thing that I will impress is that I need to leave Winston with... He's devoted his entire life to our family, and I view him very much as another father figure, grandfather figure. And he needs to be taken care of. That's the only thing that we'll talk with him and figure out what he needs. We'll give that to him and then handle it.
That guy's the best.
He's best.
If he's the last of your family, we gotta fucking do that.
That's true. Yeah. I never had family, so I envy you and what you have with him.
I had a family once.
And do we all like turn and we're like, you're gonna open up it? Let's like.
That's all Vanan said. He just says I had a family once. It's pretty cool.
Like a casual slip, you know, like you're about to unload some deep shit.
All of us like.
All of us are just like, go on.
Okay.
Are you actually asking him to go on?
No.
Well, we kind of looking at you expectantly.
Is there something you want to tell us, Vanan?
Vanan, want to share with the rest of the class?
No, it's not exactly what I want to. I mean, Bucky Ozzy before told me I kind of had to at some point. I don't know. Ozzy, is this the point?
Yeah, now's a pretty good time.
Okay. Well, I had a family once, and now they're dead. The end.
Oh, Jesus.
Not making that easier to digest.
Right, okay. So I grew up in this village. For the most part.
Okay.
I did once have like an uncle person, like I said. So it's like a weird wood elf village. You know, in the woods and stuff. You guys know who Tethrin is? You guys know who the god Tethrin is? No. That would make sense. Kind of a lesser god. Kind of barely a god. More like just a really gnarly blade singer. This cool guy. Anyways, like 500 years ago, he kind of left this thing in my village. He came back and got it like 10 years later, but nobody else knows that. So we're kind of hanging around. Vanan's having a really hard time. He's like walking, he's like pacing around and putting his hands in his pockets. So we were just kind of hanging out. We protected kind of the sacred land in a way. When I was about 23, a bunch of Duergar came out of nowhere, and some other mingling races. There are some tieflings and some other people and stuff. I think they're probably mercenaries. Kind of came into my village. Village is a loose word. It's more like a gathering. We had this whole... He's having a hard time explaining things.
Igni puts a hand on your shoulder and goes, Vanan, I do not mean to interrupt. But I do want to tell you, I too lost and never had family. And what family I thought I had, they too betrayed me and I lost them. Lilith here, she has lost family. Ozzy, have you lost your family?
I don't feel like I should say anything because my family's still alive.
That is dope.
Yeah. Igni pats you on your shoulder says, there is nothing wrong with that.
That is so dope, my buddy.
I guess, Vanan, the point I am trying to make is the past, and though it has taken me a long time to learn, is the past for a reason.
Yes, you're right.
And now,
okay,
I would like to say we have a new family.
Yeah, I feel that way. That's why I'm saying this stuff in the first place. So,
Chat, next mystery, kill Ozzy's family.
Even the playing field. There's chat.
Everyone must have a tragic backstory.
Oh, and then Igni goes, I have idea. Oh, Lilith, I have a plan. Oh, okay, you are right. We leave everything he wants to him, yeah? Things can be replaced. Art and jewelry, and this means nothing, The money in the bank, though, now that is something that can be moved. They, in fact, are asking for access to special account. What if we funds from one account to another? Take what we need for him, for us, and then we give them all the account number.
Well,
they did not say the bank has to be full.
I'm not criminally minded at all. So correct me where I'm wrong. I'm quite sure they'll have ways of knowing. I think it needs to be convincing. And it's no secret in this city that my house has been all but empty for the last couple of years. Anyone can see that, look up records of when I left to fulfill my orders duties, and everybody can, it's pretty public to look into that, like how much, tax.
Yes, but if they have been gone, what is to say that bank account has not been emptied?
I just get a feeling they probably might have their hands into the bank. I feel like Thieves Guilds in general. Maybe I'm assuming way too much, but
I don't know. I've never been part of Thieves Guild. I am just saying.
I know with my family and the people that my parents worked with, there is a lot of corruption in this city. And it would be absolutely not a surprise if they had a way of knowing or had some kind of mole in the bank. You know, I don't think this contract is meant for them to actually get money from you. I think it's to test you.
Just to see if I do it.
It feels like
Well,
they know a
yeah.
lot of stuff. They know a lot of weird stuff.
This is why we visit them, Vanan.
But
It's
Yeah.
the thieves.
what I mean
I
is,
think
if they
this
know
stuff
if they know weird stuff, they probably know like out in the open stuff, like when Lilith Helder walks into the room, and then they give us a contract to steal from Lilith Helder.
Right. Also, I'm
That
quite
feels a
sure
little bit too on a level.
uncanny. I think if the best option is to just I will make a withdrawal right now. And that is unrelated to what we're doing. I just need money from my bank, and that will just be given physically to Winston. And then I will make sure to leave enough in there so that you can get away with this convincingly. Without opening a new account, without transferring stuff. Something in me tells me that it needs to be convincing.
I trust you. I am. These are your things. I am known to take things from people, but I will not take it from you, Lilith.
You're not. I'm giving it to you.
It's good. I will take any gift that you give me.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
It's true. And I don't even know where our horses are anymore. Long gone.
How do they expect you to take all of the things that I have? What are they sending back up to like help cart it off?
So I have been thinking this too. How to get it from point A to point B. Since we are making trip to bank, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We should in fact go by your place first, get all the items, take them to bank, put them in safety deposit box for safekeeping, give them key to safety deposit box upon reaching it. So we move everything to a safety deposit box that we basically open up secretly and then give them that access. Because I mean, what, we gonna lug art through the streets of Waterdeep?
No.
I'm guessing they're probably gonna want you to get the key, and they'll send the guild to come clean out the place.
To the house? Is
Yeah,
that what it says?
It doesn't say anything about getting a key. It just basically says they want you, Igni, and Vanan, I guess at this point, to acquire the list of items from the house, and if possible, clean out the bank account.
Oh, clean it out.
I mean, with whatever's in it.
Oh.
Right. I mean, if there's 2 gold in it, you cleaned it out. If there's 40,000 gold in it, you cleaned it out.
This is red tape I am talking about. They don't know, I don't think, what is actually in it. So you are right, Lilith. We can take what we want and then leave the rest for them. But it does not say we have to bring it in hand to them. I do. My rogue senses tell me that putting it in safe place is just as good, and then delivering key to deposit box with all the items. Because they want me to return, correct?
That's fine. I was just gonna have Winston take what he needs, and he will set off into a blazing sunset to fulfill his life in the way that he wants to, leaving everything else for you to do what you need.
This is
for the
perfect.
contract.
So we should go to house first. Let Winston do what he needs to, gather what he wants. We can take exactly what is on list, nothing more, nothing less, and head to bank. We clean up.
What if?
My favorite 2 words.
Never mind. God.
No, I want to hear it. What's up?
All right. What if we polymorph Winston into a bird? And then we send the bird via the mail to the country that he wants to explore, like, you know, like backpacking through Europe, but it's like backpacking.
Dude, when I retire, I don't want to backpack anywhere. I want to go sit on my
Can
ass.
you even do that, Vanan? Because that would be news to me.
Winston's the polymorph right now.
He is, in fact, old man.
Also, no one can do polymorph here.
Oh, damn.
I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that to him. He's old and just, I don't know if he wants that kind of adventure.
Yeah.
He's Bilbo, not Frodo.
I mean, I feel we should just see what he wants to do.
Definitely
just see what he
Bilbo,
wants to do.
not Frodo.
It's true. What I hear is we need to head back to
The manor.
The manor.
Yes, that is seemingly step one. Again, to your point, though, Ozzy/Bucky, you do have a bag of holding as well, so if you did need to cart stuff, and it's pretty empty at this point, you could get stuff to and from.
There's nothing in the bag.
Yeah, that's right.
I believe that face.
I threw a bunch of trinkets in there at one point.
Oh yeah, you did.
Okay, so we can lug everything back to wherever we're going via the bag of holding.
Yeah, so if you wanted to go and put it in a safety deposit box, that's an option. If you wanted to show up and literally hand it to them, that's also an option.
I do not want to do that, in fact.
Okay, fair enough.
That's Yep.
So are you going to go straight back to the manor, or are you going to go pick up Vanan's spear?
I'm going to pick up my spear.
We should go get it on the way. God,
Yeah,
let's
okay.
help
Pick
that
it up
man
on
get
the
the
way.
spear. Yeah, we're gonna get the spear on the way.
All right, so Vanan will say you go, and you are able to pick up your spear.
Oh boy.
As I know you've been very excited to go and pick this up.
It's been like 2 months.
It's been like 2 months. Yeah, it's been a while since you deposited that. And you do go, and you go and get your sword, or your spear, and you see that one of the two little sockets that was in it before is now filled with a lightly glowing emerald.
Cool.
And he hands it to you, and he will slide out another dummy, and he will say, try it out.
I'll go in and I'll hold up my shields and I'll stab twice.
Okay, so we're not gonna make you roll because you're stabbing a dummy.
I'm rolling.
Okay, natural one, miss. You break the spear.
It went like over that way. It's gone.
Okay.
16.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the damage you would roll.
Okay. It's just a D6.
Well, it's a... Oh, yeah, it is a D6, the spear, because you're only
7.
using one-handed. What?
8.
And then go ahead and add another D6 of acid damage.
Wow, everything's sliding. 1 acid damage.
But
bad.
that is now how that spear functions going forward. It does an additional D6 acid damage.
Okay. Okay.
There you go.
Cool. I'm very excited.
So you have your spear now upgraded with a filled socket with a an emerald. And you guys basically do that, and then you're able to make it back over to Helder Manor. And you're able to go inside. And as you enter, seemingly with butler senses tingling, Winston arrives with like a tray, and he looks at all of you, and there's a coffee carafe and coffee mugs on it. Something that he knows how much how much Igni and Vanan loved the coffee the last time.
Igni says, Winston, you beautiful, beautiful man, get over here.
And he blushes a little bit. It's cute, as he's old man blushing.
And I tell him, I look at him with a concerned look and kind of very seriously tell him that we have to talk about some stuff.
And he's like, oh, all right. Whatever we need to discuss, I'm sure, is whenever you wish.
I go to the kitchen and I grab an additional cup for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I know he likes tea, so I make tea for him instead. And
all right, nice. Super cute. And then he says, "Oh well, thank you," and he will put the tray down on like an end table, and he'll take the tea.
Yep. We go to a parlor.
Yes, we'll go to one of the parlors, and he will. He has like a little look of concern, as he sees you're beat up a little bit. You don't smell the best.
It's not her, it's me.
And he'll say, "So what is the problem?" Or what would you like to discuss?
We tell it all.
And he puts the mug down, and he just comes over and he just gives you just a big hug. And he just kind of like says to you while he's embracing you, he says, "What?" He goes, "Well, I appreciate all of this, miss. Whatever you need from me, I'll gladly do whatever I can."
I'm hugging him back, and I just kind of break away to say, like, I just want you to be safe and happy, and do the things that you've wanted to do. I never really thought about it, and since I've been home, I've been thinking about it a lot more, about how you've always done things for us, and I've always wondered if you ever had a chance to do things for yourself.
And he'll look at you and he'll say, well, miss, I've only ever really wanted to make sure that you were safe and that you were happy in what you were doing. And if this is what would make you happy, then this is what I'll do."
Well, yeah. You being happy is going to make me happy. And I'll always be able to find you, and we'll be able to visit with each other. And I think now is the time to let this place go.
And he kind of like looks around at the place and he says, "Well, all right, I've got some packing that I need packing to do, and then I will help you gather what you need to bring for whatever you need from the gallery."
And as she stands up to go help get stuff ready and do stuff, she kind of pauses and looks at him and just very sincerely asks him, "Are you okay?"
And he says, and he just looks at you, and there's definitely, his eyes are a little red, and there's tears that are welling. And he says, Honestly, miss, I was just glad that I got to see you again, because I didn't know if I would."
She's totally like crying too. She's like the fat tears that fall like out of your face. It's not like a stream. It's just a fat fucking tear that falls out of your fucking eyelid.
Yep. Yep. And
you know what I'm talking about, y'all.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, don't I? Yeah, it's the same kind of tear that poured from my face when who died in Infinity Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Spoilers to a minimum.
Yes.
I didn't spoil
No,
anything.
we're not saying anything else. That's the end of that conversation.
That's it. That's all I said.
That's it.
She gives him another big old like bear hug, and then just is like, "Listen, we're always gonna be able to find each other, and I won't wait so long to visit again."
And he says, "Well, I'll be sure to let you know where I end up."
Let me know if you want help, because we're here and we have time, kind of, and I feel like it's a really important process to do that together.
And he says, "I agree." And he will kind of go off to start packing up his belongings. So over the course of the next hour, he packs up his belongings. He helps you guys pack in and gather the associated items on the list. And you're able to extract whatever gold you want to from your family funds for both Winston, for yourselves if you so choose, and then potentially to give to you're basically supposed to just get the access to the account so they could clear it out, not actually do the clearing yourself.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why I was like, there's got to be something in there. It has to be convincing. So
Okay.
I just tell Winston, like, take whatever you want, because this is as much your house as it is mine.
And he'll probably take, just so that he's good to basically build a house and survive, out of the remaining funds, he'll take like, I guess 5,000. That's pretty good to.
Just as Davis as a player is just interested, how much gold is in there?
What did we agree on, Brittany? You remember?
I'd have to. I think it was like 60,000.
Yeah,
or something.
60,000.
Shit. Okay.
And that's minus
Okay, sure.
years of.
Yeah, that's basically.
It used to
Yeah,
be a lot more.
it used to be a lot more.
Hey Ted,
Yeah.
how much would you roughly say a level 3 spell scroll costs?
Oh, I don't know. Less than 1,000, I'd say.
We still have a lot of
In
money.
I think there's actually it exists. That number exists somewhere, and I could find it. But I think based off the top of my head, it is. Oh wait, hang on. Right here, if I go to my handy dandy Adventure League folder and pull out my wizard, I'll see how much Wizards of the Coast thinks is legitimate for their for organized play. So if I were to buy, what was this? A spell scroll of. Oh, you know what? They don't. Of course, they don't list fucking values on it. Why would you do that, Wizards of the Coast? I don't know. It's probably exists somewhere. But,
We can figure it out later.
yeah. Anyway.
As we clear some things out, Igni goes, I do not mean to give Thorsten mouth, but it may be beneficial for us to take a little bit of gold to buy some supplies for ourselves. I have a feeling maybe where we are headed is not going to be as welcome.
So I had 351 gold before we won gold tonight. And aside from that, we had 650 gold in platinum, 129 gold in silver. So
Yeah,
we're still like over 1,000 golds in our funds.
yeah, that's fine.
Well, you guys want to just each take 1,000?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, let's do it. Let's each. I mean, if why the hell not? We can buy all the health potions we can possibly carry.
Well, there is something that I could possibly do for you, Lilith, if you want to keep in touch with Winston at any moment. I can procure a specific spell that will allow me to speak to him at any moment, and you can send a message his way.
Oh shit.
I love
And
that.
we
I'm
speak
sure
back.
he would love that because it would put him at ease. You know?
I would have to see if they have the spell in town first, but I could learn it and potentially use that to keep in touch with them.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Totally worth it.
Yep. So yeah, if we each add 1,000 gold to our pockets.
Plus
Yeah.
what did you win earlier, Vanan? It was like
I got-
120, right?
160?
60.
Yes.
Okay. That is now updated on our little sheet.
So yeah, basically, Ted, I'm trying to find a scroll of sending.
Sending. Yeah. We'll say without going crazy into the role play as we're coming up here on time anyway.
Yeah.
You are able to acquire a scroll of sending.
Sweet.
You're able to pack up stuff. You guys each take 1,000 gold each. Winston takes 5,000, so that's remaining 51,000 gold pieces that you're going to give to the Triad.
We're gonna make an even 50,000. You know, add 1,000 to party funds. You know, 1,000 for each, 1,000 for the party together.
So 5,000?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot more, but the fact that there was no income,
Right.
and
it's
like
just draining.
to maintain a house of that
Yeah.
size,
Management
salary and
expensive to
food,
maintain.
like her parents were like they did stuff. They don't have a business though. They were politicians, so
Jen,
yeah.
do we have a deed? I know, and this is getting litigious when we talk about this, and maybe we just talk about this over the next 2 weeks. The
Mhm.
deed to the manor?
You could procure that. It's somewhere in like a safe within the house. Yeah.
I'm gonna take that. That's
I was about to say, we should hang on to the deed to the house.
yeah. Lilith doesn't want to like.
Lose the
Abandon it.
premises. Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna still have the rights to that her family's property, but everything inside can be gutted.
Sure.
You know.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
cool.
old.
Well, it looks like we're set up then, peeps. We got 5,000 golds, and
And you have all the stuff, and you have, Winston's got what he needs.
Yeah.
You guys each got 1,000 gold and 1,000 for party funds to make an even 50K to give to the Thieves Guild.
Guys, we're rolling in it and we're about to leave the city.
Yep. So you guys have all of that, and I will say two things, and then we'll outros and we're done. One, before he leaves, Winston will give you a letter Lilith, and an envelope with a stamped seal of your family house. He'll hand that to you. And he'll just kind of like he's trying to come up with words to say, and it just kind of gets teary-eyed, and he just hands you the letter, and then he gives you a hug, and he'll sunset off.
We have that that sunset embrace where you like hold onto each other's shoulders, and you just like you have the unspoken conversation with like the grim tight jawed.
Yep.
Farewell.
Yeah. And he
a big hug, and I told him, I'm like, I'll find you, and then I'll be able to talk to you.
And he smiles and he says, "Well, I'd like that." And we'll say he like Bilbo with the walking stick, like off into like in the Fellowship of the Ring. So that happens, and then I will tell you, because I assume during all of this time, the physical labor of moving things, Ozzy was able to identify probably that dagger that you found. So first of all, we'll say that, do you have comprehend languages?
Do I know?
No? Really? Shocked on that one. I thought that was one you might have picked up in the scroll.
No, we didn't get that one.
No, well. Either way, we'll say with identifying anything that the runes on the side of the blade in Undercommon says duality. And what you find out, that this is a +1 dagger, but it functions more or less at the base like a dagger of venom. So as I think it's an action or a bonus action. If it's an action, I'm going to make it a bonus action, because if it's an action, that's stupid. Bonus action to activate, to have it coat itself in this greenish liquid that when you stab somebody with it, lasts for a minute. First time you hit someone with it, they make a Constitution saving throw. I think it's DC 15, or take an extra 2d10 poison damage, half as much if they pass the save. But there is, as I mentioned, an interesting twist option with the handle. And if you twist it the other way, the light itself turns red instead of green. And if you stab someone with this, it does a D4, like it does dagger damage, right? So dagger is a D4. This is a +1, so it's a D4 +1, and then would do the poison. If you turn it to the red side and stab someone with it, it does a D4 +1 damage to that person, but then heals them for 2d10 HP.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's cool.
That does Christmas damage.
Yes.
Christmas damage.
Christmas dagger.
It is the same. It is the same function. You know, it activates for a bonus action. It lasts for a minute. The first person you stab with that takes a D4 +1 damage, plus whatever modifier you would add your modifier to it. But then they heal for 2d10 HP.
Weird.
Pretty cool.
Okay. Awesome. I'm literally gonna call it the Christmas dagger.
That's fine.
Is that the one with poison?
It does poison or healing.
Yeah, just depending on what color. Okay, cool.
And that is gonna round us out for the evening, folks. So, Brittany, if you're still in the room, do you want to just tell us? You want to tell us who you are so you can get out of here?
I was literally putting jeans on. Sorry. I am Brittany. I play Arna Delethil on Venture Maidens podcast. We stream every Wednesday at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. You can find Venture Maiden stuff basically on every platform: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at Venture Maidens. We're redoing our website, so that should be up very soon and looking fucking righteous and bitchin'. And then if you want to follow me I'm very active on Instagram. You can find me at Visual Warlock. That's visual spelled with a Z instead of an S.
Okay. Next up is Chelsea. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, I'm Chelsea, also known as Little Red Dot. You can find me online on all the social medias. I spend most of my time on Twitter, which is where I also post my schedule of all the many places that I play. You can check me out on the North by Northwest podcast when I'm not here. I play for Encounter Roleplay. I DM for them on Thursdays, and I play with them over on Wizards of the Coast channel on Saturdays. As well as the fact, actually, officially this weekend, I started launching some one-off campaigns or one-off games from my own channel. So you can also follow me on Twitch now under the same little _red_pod. So I eat, sleep, and breathe RPGs. I'm getting ready to do some cool play testing of some Cthulhu stuff. So just like check me out, follow me. I will keep you up to date on all of the things.
All right, Bucky, how about you?
Hi, I'm Bucky. You can find me on Twitter at Bucky_Masters. Normally, I play Vendalar Greymeyer on the Taking Initiative podcast. You can follow them on Twitter at TI_pod, and you can find all information about me and my podcast and all that at thespark.network.
Okay, and last but not least, Davis.
Hi, I'm Davis, aka Vanan, aka Korn, also known as Davis. Plays the character on Dank Dungeons TV and on this show. Catch us at Twitter at Dank Dungeons TV and also Patreon, Dank Dungeons TV, Facebook, Dank Dungeons TV. It's pretty easy to find us. We're filming season 2 actually next month in June, and hopefully it'll be out by the end of the summer, towards the end of the summer. That'd be really cool. That is me. Come check us out. We play fun games. Goodbye.
Great. And I'm Ted. This is Nerd Immersion. This is my channel, so chances are you know who I am because you're here. Or you like the other people that are on this channel. So anyway, I will be back tomorrow night with my homebrew campaign that I'm running, and Wednesday I should be back doing It Builds Character finally without storms and other things getting in the way. So this will be Kim Possible because I owe that to Chelsea. Right? Because it hasn't happened yet. MomoCon is next weekend?
This weekend.
This weekend. Okay, so I have to do it Wednesday. So Kim Possible I'll be building Kim Possible this Wednesday night. What else do I have going on? Oh, my coverage for Mordenkainen's Tomophoes, the first video came out today. This is my general overview about what's new in the book and my feeling. It gets a little ranty at times, so you could deal with that. Yeah, I hate on the Phoenix pretty hard, and I have reasons why, and if you want to know why, I'll make a whole video about it. But tomorrow is going to be the start of the return of Top 10 Tuesday, so I will be doing tomorrow, you guys will get the sneak peek, will be Top 10 Cantrips in 5th edition. That will be that video coming out tomorrow, so you'll see what my thoughts are on that. I also started to reinvigorate my D&D 101 series, so if you have questions about rulings or things like that, I've already got a ton of feedback of people who are like, how does this work? And I'm like, well, I already did a video on that, but I'll tell you how it works. So that's also some new stuff coming to the channel, and then there's a bunch of DM's Guild stuff that people have sent me. They're like 400-page documents, and they're like, read our book, tell us what you think. So I'm doing that, but it's 400 pages, so it's going to take a little while. But anyway, that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks for the return of Princess of the Apocalypse. 15 episodes in 2 weeks, finally. And we'll see what happens as the Triad receives their gifts from Igni. So, there we go. Anyway, guys, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.